How do I get into your game? Hello.
Alright, welcome everybody to the CLoLS 1v1 tournament. It is a sweltering day, but luckily we will be spending most of it on Howling Abyss. I've got with me Oven here. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Jimmy. I'm really looking forward to seeing some hot 1v1 action on the Howling Abyss. Yeah.
Oh yes, that's absolutely amazing, but here we go. We actually have champ select already done for you, but there's about a 3-minute delay, so nobody's ghosting each other. You know, it's all fair in games here. So nobody's going to be cheating. Let's talk quickly about the picks and bans, though. So for picks and bans, we got Jax, Fizz, Malphite on the blue side, and Anivia, Kate, and Teemo on the red side bans. What do you reckon?
So the bronze full bans.
Nobody wants to deal with
bans.
Jax, mostly. Although I don't really know about Jax, because let's quickly reiterate the rules for this, in case anybody watching is iffy about the rules or doesn't quite know the rules. Okay, so the rules of this game is, you start on the standard Howling Abyss map, you start at level 3, and you start with 1400 gold. You're not allowed backs either. And the win conditions are the same as Riot's ones, so first kill 100 CS or the first turret taken. So that's really going to be impactful on Jax, because you're not allowed to go back, you're not allowed to buy, and Jax is a late game scaling champion, so I don't know how well he's going to be doing in this tournament. I'm not too certain he's worthy of a ban. What do you reckon?
Well, you know his play pattern of use Counter-Strike is very effective against some people's preferred characters, such as Caitlyn for 1v1s or MF, for example. So that Counter-Strike could be really strong. The thing that I don't understand is the Malphite ban. I don't understand what Malphite's supposed to do at all. Even when he hits 6, he can't go back, so, you know, he's going to be denied heavily, and yeah. So I just don't know quite what the plan is with the Malphite ban, but you know what, maybe he just played against some really good Malphite who flashed on him and used like an item like Entropy or something or whatever. You can't get items, can you?
No, you can't. You only start with 1400 gold, and that's pretty much all you have for the entire game. So 1400 gold, you know, it's... You know, you could buy a few things. You could buy 3 Dorans for a start, but...
Well, Malphite will run out of mana before he does anything, before he even gets to 6 to use his ultimate, so...
Well, here's the thing, you know, unlike the standard 1v1 tournament, standard 1v1 games that we've seen at International Wildcard All-Stars and indeed All-Stars in Los Angeles, you're not allowed to go back. So will melee champions really be looking to waste their mana on CS, or will they be primarily using it on poke? I think it would be the poke, wouldn't it?
To be honest, what were the picks?
The picks right now, let me just get in. Oh, apparently the game's just sort of ended. I don't quite know what's going on with that, but we'll have to check in with the authorities, but the game looks like has just ended now. The picks were Annie and... Oh Christ, you're testing my memory here. It's the first game of the day, and we're having a little bit of technical difficulty, so I'm not quite certain. Bear with us for a second, people at home, and we're just going to quickly check what's going on here.
Well, it's entirely possible for an Annie to get a kill in the first, you know, 10 seconds of them meeting each other with 3 abilities and 1400 gold. If you're ever facing Annie in mid lane, you can very well die if you come back with a, you know, needlessly large rod and just does all the abilities on you at once.
Okay, so apparently they were using the wrong rules, so we will be recreating this game, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. We should be getting in right now. Just give me 1 second while I also invite Oven, which is pretty essential, you know, to this whole operation.
So yeah, I'm actually interested to see if any Jarvan picks come out. Jarvan is very, very good in these 1v1 low item situations. He has insane base damage. He's a very resilient combo, and yeah, just one item can make him very, very strong.
Alright, I think we should be getting into game relatively soon. Hopefully everything's been resolved. This is the correct map, blind pick, same bands, same picks hopefully. As we go into game right now. Yes, Annie was the first pick from Lord Chicken 666, and on the other side it was Alistar. Wow, an Alistar pickup. Alistar in 1v1, really? What do you think about that?
Well, he starts off level 3, which is going to obviously like reduce the window that Annie has to go and harass him, because every time she comes up to try and harass him, he can obviously combo her. Not entirely sure. It seems like a bit of a sort of a fun pick. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but Who knows?
Who knows? But one thing that's for certain is it looks like Brahmi is taking this rather seriously. He's got Ignite and also Exhaust
We
compared
call
to
like the ham special in the bot lane. The
the
Ignite
ham
exhaust
special,
support.
exactly. Let's see if Annie can roast up that beef for dinner, though, because she's actually just taken Flash, which, as we've seen in the international tournaments, hasn't actually been that strong of an ability in 1v1s. If you're going for 1v1s, you really do want that exhaust or even mark. I don't know, just any sort of ability. Not really Flash. I haven't seen Flash used. Or at the very least, I haven't seen Flash used effectively in a 1v1. What do you reckon about that? Is that going to give Alistar the edge he needs to take this out?
I don't think so. What I think's going to happen is, judging by the play pattern of most Alistars that I've seen, he's going to go in a bunch and he's going to be quite low, and then he's going to go in one last time and then start running away, and he'll get out of range and he will flash, ignite ultimate, and he'll die.
That's the dream. The second option is Annie flashes out of the way of his headbutt, and she's like, "Oh wow, what are you going to do now?"
That's a bit, yeah. I don't really know if that's kind of worth it. I mean, you're going to have to deal with his combo again later. It's not like Alistar has significant mana troubles. It's also on the Howling Abyss map, which means that some champions get slightly higher mana regen. Oh, they have higher mana regeneration, which comes up sometimes. Yeah, what do you think about like the whole mana situation of like these champions that have very high cost abilities but a low mana pool, such as Alistar, on this map? Quite significant in my opinion.
Hey, you also got to mention the Annie if you're going to be talking about high mana cost. I mean, if you've taken a look at her mana cost, they're not cheap. They're not cheap, and if you're not going to be building any items, then the lack of ability to back is really going to hurt you. So I think for both of these champions, it's actually going to be quite harmful. I don't know if Alistar should level his heal or not, because his heal is an AoE, which means if he's only going to be healing himself a single target, he's going to be spending a lot of mana for very little health. So I don't think that's quite worth it. Everything has to come down to whether the mana cost is worth it or not, because if you spend all of that mana and it's not worth it, then you can't go back and you can't get that mana back. But you did mention that this is the Howling Abyss, which means that champions do regain mana faster than the other maps. So it should be interesting to watch.
I just thought of a nice application of Alistar's heal using the minion kill victory condition, using his heal to deny the Annie disintegrate. So denies the mana refund and the kill for the minion.
I didn't even consider that. Look, that's why we have you here. I didn't even consider that, but that's an amazing use. And if it comes down to it, I guess you can deny the CS. But if you got it for a CS victory, did you really want to pick Alistar? Can you really last it into an Annie? I mean, you didn't know it was an Annie, but can you really last it into anyone?
What have we got the rune pages up at all? Do you have any of the data available on that?
No, I do not have any of the room pages up. Unfortunately, I should be able to, but no, I don't.
Tell you what, let me look it up on the old LOL Arena.
Oh yes, Oven right here. Here's the beacon of knowledge that we all need. A fairly quick loading screen, it's a golden Alistar, but it's into an Annie who was ranked gold last season, so we should see how this goes. Interesting start. Alistar choosing to go with what I mentioned was the triple Doran, the fabled triple Doran start with 4 health potions. So he's going to have a lot of mana sustain here, coming into here. Lord Chicken, is just pondering the shop, saying, what exactly should I get? In the end, decides to go for a catalyst, actually. So she's also opted for mana sustain in a different form, but the catalyst is really hard to activate because the way that Howling Abyss works, you need all of the experience that you needed to get to level 4 to get to level 4 anyway. The only difference is you start on level 3, but as opposed to going from level 3 to level 4, you need to effectively get the experience to go from 1 to 4 in order to level up to 4. That's why if you ever play ARAM, it's extremely painful to get to level 4, but after that you can just level up like crazy. If any of you have played ARAM extensively, you should have noticed that, but otherwise, Cookie's coming in for, a nice combo coming in, not quite landing the headbutt though. Brahmi's just going to be leaving with a little bit more health up. And have you got the stats up? I'm going to take that as a no. I'm going to take it as a definitive no that you have not got the stats up, but that's alright. Looking back into this, It actually looks like Alistar's going to contest this for the CS.
No, I've got the stats right here, Jimmy.
Yeah? Yeah, what's
And
up?
we've got a spicy one. We've got 1% critical hit chance on Alistar
Oh, yeah.
and 25 ability power with 6 magic pen and 40 health.
On Alistar.
Yes, and he's got pretty standard runes.
I'm
We
looking
have
forward
the-
to this roast ham.
Oh god. So yeah, if he can land in that auto attack, I'm not sure if they changed that. That was a thing a long time ago. You get an auto attack in as you did the headbutt pulverize combo. If we could see a crit, that would be quite exciting. For the
Well, we
people
saw
around, I
just
guess.
then that his headbutt pulverize combo did about half of Annie's health, so you know those runes are coming in strong, but he's taken a fair deal of poke back. I actually quite like this. It means that it's really volatile. It means he's doing more damage, he's taking more damage. That's what we want to see in 1v1s. You know, it's what makes the game fun, isn't it? But yes.
Let's see if Annie can avoid Alistair's play pattern of headbutt pulverize.
his
It's a
legendary
very,
play pattern of
multi-dimensional
using
strategy.
two abilities that you need to use.
Alright. So there we haven't seen Alistair take his heal yet at all. He's
No,
just
we
maxing
haven't.
out that.
That's exactly what we were talking about, though. You know, the heal's just not worth the mana that it costs. But having said that, he has triple Doran, so he's getting quite a bit of mana back. Not quite matching Annie on the farm, but you know that's what we expect into a melee matchup versus Annie.
I think he's gonna go in here. Look, you can see him moving up. He's in range. There we go. There's a little bit of
that
damage.
Nice little headbutt moves her out of the way for the relic. Relic's gonna be.
Actually, we
playing
haven't
big
talked
in
about
this
the
game.
masteries in this game. So I've got the masteries right here, and first of all, we have 12-17 on the Alistair, which means he's missed out on the point.
Oh god, he doesn't have the Thunderlords, but he's going in anyway.
Yeah, he does have thunder. I'm not quite sure what the problem is here, but yeah, he's got 12 points and then 17 points.
It must be 18
It might
because
be
he
a bug
definitely
with,
broke Thunderlords just there.
He's got Thunderlord's Decree, it looks like. Oh, he's put the point in the assassin, of course. Because it just hasn't come up on the LoL Nexus yet. There's,
Oh, okay. LoL
think
Nexus
out
is
of 10
being
for
a
LoL
bit buggy,
Nexus.
huh?
Yeah.
Alright, we won't rely on that.
Successfully lands a combo.
Yeah, and
Gets in
there
that
we
auto
go.
attack.
You know, I play a lot with somebody who is a profound Alistar main. You know, he used to be a Trundle main, but ever since Trundle became iffy, he switched to Alistar. That is League of Trundle, by the way, if you've ever played with him. And he says you can reliably get that auto attack after your headbutt on Alistar still. All you need to do is spam right click as you're headbutting.
The thing that I'm not quite sure on is the fact that Trundle's iffy. I don't know about you, if you played against Trundle recently, he is quite the beast.
In this new meta, he is one of the strongest champions available. You know, obviously that armor pen being changed on Last Whisper means that tanks like Malphite come in, super tanks that you just can't deal with, and Trundle counters them perfectly because his ultimate doesn't really scale with items. It just scales with rank of the ultimate, I guess. And if the enemy have more armor and MR, then well, it's your armor and MR for free. And he used to main Trundle support, but that wasn't meta, and now it's super meta. So I think he's a trendsetter there in that role.
You know what I'd like to see in these 1v1s is is a Trundle pick actually.
Oh,
We got that ignite
the
ticking.
Tim is
There
coming
we
out
go.
and first blood going over to Annie. So that
And he
is-
used the flash, did you see?
He did use the
He used
flash.
the
Without
flash.
the flash, he wouldn't have got that kill. So yes, you're absolutely right. That's not a rage
So
quit.
Alistar went in one last time, and then he started to try and back off. He got out of range, and then Annie flashed into range and killed him.
Yes, so let's replay this on the stream. If we take a look at this, hopefully it should be coming up soon. So you can't see this often, but I'll just quickly walk this through. So he goes in one final time, slow this down. He takes 2 turret shots for his troubles, and this is when Annie knows that he needs to. Gets the stun off, so excellent use of the ultimate by Alistar, but too little too late. He does in fact use the flash to get those last 2 hits off. And that's first blood going over. Well, it's not first blood, it's a victory going over to Lord Chicken 666. So he will be advancing through. Congratulations, Lord 666, on the victory. At the current moment, I think we're going to take a little bit of a break as we check in with our referees, but we should be back in a game really soon. So, stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly. All right, we're back into we're back into round two. Sorry, and the game that we're about to spectate right now is actually Group H between Breakable Mouse and Mr. Fluffy Bunny. Oven, I heard that you did some research, but before we talk about the research, sorry, really quickly, we should probably talk about the bands Quinn, Annie, Lucian, and oh, a problem just happened with the game. Hopefully, things get fixed. But no, let's just talk about your research that you did on these two champs right now. Players right now. What have you got?
Well, Mr. Fluffy Bunny is quite the Teemo aficionado. Also loves playing Warwick and Ashe, other news like the League of Legends starter pack champions. Yeah, that's what he likes to play.
Okay, well, you play the easy champions in order to win, because at the end of the day, if you have less moving parts, then you have more chance to succeed, because you need to worry about less things. If you're watching the map, for instance, then that could be the difference between winning and losing, but you don't have to worry about your mechanics per se, because your champion is low mechanics, for instance Ashe and Teemo. But, it's to everybody's playstyle, and if he succeeds, which according to his log king he is succeeding, then it works. It looks like it's working quite well.
Alright, and on Breakable Mouse, it looks like that Uja ban was a target ban, because we have Uja with a 65% win rate, with quite good stats, 547 per game, and also Nasus, Gragas. He's got quite a high win rate in ranked with his sort of highly played champions of like top lane sort of tanks and jungle tanks. So
yeah, no, it should be good. You want to walk us through these picks, though? You want to walk us through this matchup? Sorry?
So we've got Ashe versus MF. They're both immobile. Obviously, they both have the exhaust. I'm not actually quite sure. I don't really play much AD carry. I know you're quite the AD player. So if you could give the rundown actually.
Well, both of these champs are absolutely amazing, if we're talking about raw damage output, MF is going to win, but if we're talking about outplay potential, Ashe is going to win, because obviously Ashe has that amazing enchanted crystalline arrow, so it will depend on whether, if they get to level 6, that is, this is all if they can get to level 6, who can get the better ultimate down, because at the end of the day, MF has to stand still to use her ultimate, and if she stands still, then she's really opening herself up to be ulted by Ashe. So, I'm really interested to see if anybody does any sort of a cheese to rush level 6 to deny experience so they can get more damage down. All of that is going to matter coming into this game. Also poke, because MF's double up paired with a new love tap passive is going to be super strong in lane. So if Mr. Fluffy Bunny can avoid that, then he should be in the right. But it's a skill matchup coming into this, because obviously it's ADC versus ADC. Neither of them have dash, neither of them have speed up. Well, MF has strut, but you know what I mean. And both of them took exhaust, like you said, so it's going to be a skill matchup, more or less.
The interesting thing is, what's different about this matchup from usual is that Misfortune will have increased mana regen because of the Howling of Abyss. I mean, her usual mana problems of not being able to spam her poke is less of a problem, which means that she's more powerful in this matchup than she is on Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, so that should be really interesting to watch. Because MF, her whole deal is just double up. She just waits until a range minion gets low and then double up, and she's like, oh wow, you just happen to be standing behind it. Take all of that damage for free, especially with Love Tap. Love Tap's going to be doing so much damage in this game. So before level 6, I have to give it to MF, but after level 6, it's going to be a skill matchup. I want to see if MF zones.
I'm quite interested out of the barrier pick. I guess it's blind pick, but I just feel like heal would be stronger on an AD carry. Just not because of the obvious, heal is always better. But the barrier, yes, it will prevent some damage, but heal can also allow you to chase something. It has more utility for summoner spell.
Well, that's absolutely right coming into this. I mean, I didn't even really consider it that way. I would have just thought that barrier would have been better because barrier has higher numbers than heal. But yeah, if you're going to be chasing somebody down, you have that added utility that barrier can't provide. Also, at the end of the day, barrier has a time limit. So if you see somebody pop barrier and you have the ability to just walk away, then that barrier would have been completely wasted. But a heal is never wasted. So yeah, no, it's interesting that you bring that up. I thought that it was going to be, just, heal versus barrier. But yeah, now that you bring it up, it really does make a lot of sense how much difference it can make.
I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna have to give it to Breakball Mouse at the moment because he has the Spirit Guard Uju skin. That's why he has that summoner icon of the Phoenix. So money obviously means you're better at League. So I'm gonna have to give it to Breakball Mouse here.
Oh yes, you're absolutely right. Money does mean that you're better at League, and that's the name of the game right there.
All right, I've just loaded into the game now. We've got that triple door inside, and then we got the. I always call it cauliflower warhammer. I know it's not called cauliflower; it's coalfields or whatever it's called, but I like to call it the cauliflower warhammer.
Oh man, there seems
Obviously
to be
very
a little
strong
bit
in
of
there.
technical issue on the broadcasting side. We apologise for this. Let's see if we can really get back into this. Hopefully, it shouldn't take too long. But no, just walk us through the first picks. Well, the items. Sorry.
Yeah, items. Yeah, so we've got triple Dorans on the Ash, which is going to give her a lot of lifesteal, a lot of sustain. We've got that cauliflower warhammer on the MF. I know it's not called that.
For that
just to reiterate.
legendary cooldown reduction, which is all that MF needs.
And the interesting thing is, Ash has passed her first skill test of not taking her E.
Well, here's the deal. Do you need your E on this map? And how much do you need it? That's what I'm going to ask.
Actually, I could see taking a pointed at 5, just so you don't get brush teeth. But you have to take time to cast it. Oh wow, we got a good trade there with Grasp of the Undying as the Capstone Mastery picked by Ash. Looks like she's gone quite deep into the defensive tree, which could give her the edge in this 1v1.
One thing that we forgot to mention in this game is actually Ash's passive. Like we said earlier, both. Apologies to people at home for that oven. You can't hear that. You should be thankful. But people at home just heard that. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. But talking about Ash's passive here, MF also doesn't have any movement. So how's that going to interact? That's going to be rather interesting. Seeing how it goes.
So we also saw a bit earlier the synergy with Thunderlords and MF. She can just use her Make It Rain to just trigger Thunderlords on her own. It's not going to be as big a deal because she doesn't have that high AD with those items that she's going to be able to get. But it's still quite useful to look at the poke that she can do. But with Grasp of the Undying on Ash, I don't actually know what MF can really do to beat this. Look, she's almost out of mana. And sooner or later she's going to have to start just using auto attacks to do Paltry Harass, and Ash is actually, I think Ash's got a range advantage on MF.
Yes, Ash does have a range advantage. She has 600 range compared to the standard 525 on most ADCs, including MF. I think her range is only matched by Varus, and it's only beaten by Caitlyn. Obviously not including Tristana passive, but yes, she does have a range advantage on MF. Having said that, though, MF has a range advantage in the sense that she has double up, which is an amazing ability right now. So everything's quite even now. Ash can get more orders in, but MF can do the really fast burst trades.
Oh man, this is exactly what I was talking about. See, you can see Ash is in that defensive tree, getting those frost shots on her, and at the Grasp of the Undying is so backbreaking in the scenario. It's 3% of your maximum health, which doesn't sound like much, but the fact that it's a 6% life swing, because you're taking 3 life away from them and giving yourself 3 extra life, it's combined with the triple Dorans, it's a bit too much, I think, to sustain through. See, look, she's on full health straight away after a long trade with her. I know that was picking up a health relic, but I think we're pretty much just an ultimate away from closing out this.
Unfortunately, people at home can't quite see this, I think. Or, yes.
Look, she's got to sustain through this. Oh no, she's taking a tower shot. Oh my gosh, that taking a tower shot turned out to be the death of her. I can't believe it.
Well, especially if you're going to be playing ADCs, building no defensive items and not going down the defense tree. Well, in fact, Ash went down the defense tree, but, you can't really afford to be taking turret hits. Definitely not in this game mode, and, yeah, unfortunately, that's the end of it.
I can't agree with that play there. Actually, what happened was, she had the clear advantage over time. All she had to do was keep activating that Grasp of the Undying, keep sustaining up, doing more poke damage, MF will get lower and lower, and then you can just ult her and auto-attack her a couple of times to kill her. There's no need to walk into tower, no need to go and force an engagement. Can't say I was particularly happy with the outcome of that game. I think we should have gone much longer, and we should have seen a more controlled game from the Ash.
I agree. I just wanted to see a farm to 100 game, especially if it's ADC. And once it gets to it will be no. It's not boring because here's the deal: once it gets to about 90 CS, whoever's down on CS has to make a play because if they don't, they know they're just sealing their own fate by waiting.
I don't know. I just feel like the Ash had that game wrapped up at that point. She could do anything she wanted, and she chose to tower dive. Yeah, bit of a shame, but yeah, it was definitely a good game. I do think she would have won over time, obviously. Um, yeah, I really approve of the Grasp of the Undying pick on her. That just seems so strong. Yeah.
I mean, that's the name of the game right now. In lane, you can go back once you're playing normal League of Legends. You can go back, you can heal, you can do all that sort of stuff. But in here, you don't really have that sort of sustain. So anything that could really give you health back, like triple Dorans, like Grasp with the Undying, that's going to be absolutely crazy because not only are you taking away from them, admittedly a small amount, but you're also healing yourself. So it's all about the differential there, and that's what came out.
It's actually 1.5% for ranged champions, but that's still 1.5% from them to you, so you're gaining back 3%. No, yeah, it's just half 1.5%, which is about 20 to 30 around mid levels, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Still counts. It's like an extra hit with Adorans, basically. Like just the heal from Adorans rather. And obviously, being in the defensive tree that deep, you get your probably plus magic resistance and like armor for nearby, and like base health regen or summoner health.
That's absolutely correct.
Oh, the regeneration and lifesteal mastery, which gives it 8%
Oh,
more
that mastery
lifesteal.
is just crazy. That's gonna. If other people take it, I think that we're going to be seeing really drawn out and slow paced fights today. So hopefully not. We like action. We like all of these actions, showing skill. Just going at a level 3.
I don't
You
know.
don't even get level 4.
You and I are kind of different. Like I like to outlast my opponents, watch them try and do their best, and then sort of just out tank them and sort of win that way. But I know you're an AD carry main, and you like to get in there and get in those kills, those flashy plays and stuff like that. I'm much more of a juggernaut, sort of like sit in combat for a long time and eventually kill them, sort of thing.
That's absolutely right.
Also, I'm bad at assassins.
Yes, so Zed. We want to see Zed in this game, but no, we will be going
Definitely.
straight over into our second game without delay. Hopefully you should be coming into this lobby soon. Yes, you are. And here are the bans. The bans are Caitlyn, Blitz, Heimerdinger, and on the other side it's Quinn, Annie, and Riven. So nobody
Quinn,
wants to
Annie,
deal
and
with
Riven,
the Quinn or the Annie, but the Riven ban.
Yeah.
The Riven ban stands
Riven,
out to me.
Riven with flash, she can jump out at you from a bush or something, land the stun. A lot of AD carries can't actually die. Can actually die from that really easily. You've only got like 1.5k health in the beginning, and it's not saying that Riven can do all that damage in one hit, but she can put you on the defensive. That means that every time she shields towards you, you have to back away. So.
Yes, that's correct. Oh, the Kindred insta-lock.
Ooh.
Oh.
I think we saw the reason for the Quinn ban. We got the Quinning streak summoner name right there.
Doing a little bit of research saying, who am I up against? Quinning streak. That sounds like a champion. Yeah, let's ban Annie.
Anyway, we see the Olaf pick here. I'm quite excited for the Olaf pick. You know me, I love my tanks. I love my, just refusing to die in your face, And Olaf's just one of those champions that can just get in there. And,
I was
land
actually
those undertows.
Yeah, I was actually talking to CCG's Amiga about Olaf coming into this because the problems that Olaf generally has that he doesn't have this game is that he needs to wait until you get some levels, but in this game mode you start on level 3, so he's already got all of his abilities open. Interesting that he's stayed on the Flash. Hopefully he switches that over to Mark, the Snowball one, because that obviously is available on Halley Abyss. No, he actually decides to go for Exhaust as he locks in, so we will be seeing an Exhaust Ignite versus Exhaust Ignite. But I think that's a bit of a waste. I think that he should have gone Mark, because if you mark somebody and then follow up, and your axes just keep on slowing, and I don't think they have a reasonable chance to get away. Having said that, though, it's into a Kindred, and Kindred, if she puts down a W, she can just dash away like crazy. So interesting to see that Mark wasn't picked up by Olaf here.
Well, you see, if we have that kind of engagement, Olaf's engages pretty much any time he lands an undertow, right? Like he can catch up, you can run up to them. So if Kindred uses her W, as I recall correctly, it does have not the longest cooldown, but it does have a cooldown, much shorter than Olaf's axe. So he can if it gets bad, it can just exhaust and sort of back away a bit, and then run after it with the ultimate when it wears off.
Oh, this is just going to be so painful for Olaf. All I'm thinking of, and there is only one thing that I can really think of, is how is he going to get into range? That's all I'm thinking. Is he going to be building any item to get into range?
The Undertow has quite a long range, is all. So winning streak. I'm just looking up the runes and masters now.
Yeah, sure thing. As you were saying though, Undertow does have an incredible range. It has about 1,000 range. It goes through minions, and if you pick it up, then you lower the cooldown as well. And usually the problem with Olaf in lane is that he runs out of mana super quickly, but like you were mentioning, and I think this is going to come out big in every single game that we see, this is on the Howling Abyss map, which means that mana regen is increased, and if mana regen is increased, we're going to see a lot more poke coming out of this. Usually champs who are as reserved and not picked because of their mana usage might be seen here, because they can just spam out all of their abilities even at range, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem for Olaf coming in here.
Also to note that Olaf will always be active.
Yes, it will always be active, so that should be amazing to watch. I always love watching 1v1 Olaf games. Usually they take mark, but I would still love watching this one nonetheless, just because of his zoning potential with his axe. If he goes to pick up his axe, then it means that he can throw it again, and if he throws it again, he's just got so much zoning potential.
I don't know, I've seen AD carries just die to undertows. Endless undertows, like... What it would make my day here would be just either 45% CDR mastery, full CDR runes, and like Ionian boots, and like, I don't know, mana crystal or something.
Mana crystal?
I just always throw undertow.
Disrespect the opponent. You don't even need a ruby crystal. You just take the sapphire crystal. And you're just like, oh yes, now I can do more undertows.
Yeah, there you go, more undertows, and and you take the mana regen.
Who needs ruby crystal? Who needs HP? You won't be taking any damage because they'll be running away all the time.
Yeah, they're just trying to dodge you under. That's what I'd like to see. I don't think I'm going to say that, but I think that could be a strong strategy. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
Let's see if it pays off indeed. We got a second loading into Champ Select, not Champ Select, sorry, loading screen. I got all of my terminology mixed up today because it's such a hot day. But you know, Howling Abyss, it's a great map to cool down on. You know, just watching it sends shivers down my spine. Just going, oh, it's getting really cold here, which is exactly what we need on a day like this.
I still can't get into check out these guys. Runes and masters yet. It's not quite working on the old lawn access. So
that's very unfortunate here, but we are actually into game. So while you try and look up their runes and masteries, let's quickly take a look at this. Kindred going out really quickly with a Vampiric Scepter and a Doran's Blade. I think the name of the game is Sustain here, because in every single game that we've seen so far, obviously the people who have been dominating lane the hardest are the people who have opted for Sustain, either in the form of champions or in the form of items or masteries. So it's very interesting.
Looks like Olaf is employing the strategy of wait a long time buying items in the hopes that, you know, something happens.
What are you doing? Wake up! You should have been preparing for this earlier. Oh wow! Instead of going for a triple Dorans, he goes for a longsword. Wants that 2 extra AD. See if that makes a difference for him.
But he's also got an extra pair of hot potions, which could come up.
Yes, that is correct, because longsword is...
mana crystal come out.
Yes, longsword is 50 gold, less than Doran's. So, you know, you can get 1 more health potion out of that, and I guess it's worth it because a Doran's gives you 80 health, but a health potion gives you 150. So, you know, if you do the maths on this, especially if this game doesn't go too long, a health potion could be better than a third Doran's.
Oh, okay, we can see Olaf finally getting marked by Kindred. She wanted to establish dominance.
Oh, yeah, she's saying, I'm going for Olaf. Funny that, I thought that she was going for the jungler.
So we got a 0 out of 1 for undertows. Oh.
Oh.
50% undertow hits now.
It's a little bit unfortunate how little damage undertow is doing. I was expecting a little bit more, and because it's not that high...
Oh wow.
Oh wow, an early ignite coming out. I don't think that was worth it though. If Kindred just backs off here, which is what she will do, it looks like she has all the potential to just sustain this one out, having that Doran's Blade and Vampiric eventually. So unless Olaf goes in right now, which it doesn't look like he can because he's at the health disadvantage, This trade's going to.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Kindred, as the Ignite comes out from Kindred as well, Olaf tries to put it back, gets him fairly low, but Kindred wins this one. As we've seen, I'm just disappointed by the exhaust. I honestly thought that Mark was going to come out, because Mark would have just been so amazing there. But if we take a look at the playback, and once again, sorry, Oven, because you can't quite see the playback, but
Yeah, it's quite alright.
yeah, if we take a look at this, or gets hit by the axe, that's alright. And if we slow this down, the turnaround comes here, but just a millisecond too slow, puts down a lot of damage. The true damage comes out here, but it's too little too late. That one last auto attack, or the tick of Ignite, either one coming out from Kindred, killed Olaf there. And that win is going to go to quitting streak. Hopefully that's the start of his winning streak in this tournament, but there we go. Kindred versus Olaf. Kindred wins when Olaf doesn't take Mark.
Kindred wins.
Kindred wins. So hopefully we should be seeing CLoLS tournament bracket update. Yes, it has. So bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, as I just quickly update our screen here so you can all see how it's going. But we should be getting into game really soon. So what did you make of that? What did you make of that game?
Well, I couldn't quite get the runes and masteries to come up on the long axis, which was quite disheartening for me. But did you notice what capstone Olaf was taking and the capstone on Kindred?
Well, I'm almost certain that they were both taking Thunderlords, weren't they?
I can't agree with the Thunderlord pick there on Olaf, to be honest. I think any situation where you can trigger 3 things in a row, you're winning as Olaf already. So I think he should have gone for maybe like Grasp of the Undying or, you know, like Strength of the Ages or Bond of Stone. Just something that could like just boost his tankiness. So like in the situation where he doesn't get to get in there and get those 3 hits off, you know, he can instead not die, you know.
Yes, that's absolutely right. Because if he's gonna be proccing that Thunderlords, like you said, he should already be on you. And if he's on you, then he should be able to burst you down with that slow from Undertow and that true damage coming out from his reckless swing. So yeah, you're absolutely right. The name of the game here, as we've seen in this tournament so far, is just sustain. You know, you want to keep your health up, and if you can build up that health differential between you and your enemy, because you're not allowed to back, you just have all the lane sustain. You can farm, you can poke out, you can put damage down to turrets. It's really all 3 conditions for winning in that one stat, which is sustain.
Yeah, I'm excited to see if a Jarvan pick comes out at any point in the next few games. I know it's because I'm a big fan
I
of
think
Jarvan,
we have a little bit of bias here talking to a Java main, don't we?
Yeah, but like he starts off level 3. You can get you could even get like serrated Dirk or whatever it's called, the armor pen one that's the old remnant of the brutalizer, and he'll deal like you know, at least 70% of your health in his first combo. And then what do?
You go all in, you knock
Dash
them up.
away.
If they use a dash away, then you cancel it because your flag drag is so fast. They really got nothing to do.
And you also have a shield. Like it just I don't know. Like he just seems really strong in this sort of 1v1 sort of thing. With, you know, and he can also play defensively. He can play the sustain game because of course with his passive he heals for a lot more with lifesteal because he does the extra health damage.
That's absolutely right.
He can even start with a Tiamat and get an extra
Tiamat.
auto attack in your combo. You could start with go EQ, you know, hit, apply passive, which is percent of current health, right?
And then Tiamat for the extra auto.
Yeah, no, you order them again, and then you order them with Tiamat, and then you order them again, and then they're slowed, and they're just like, and then you can just walk away if you want with them on like 13% health or something. Like sort of just say, I don't have to kill you now, I can kill you later.
The
like,
cheese strats are real. You wait for your cooldowns, and then you go in once again. But we will have to delay this Jarvan discussion as we are going into game. We'll lobby really quickly. Hopefully they should be able to get you into this oven, but it's a game between Aloda and David 111. That is Group P, if you are still looking at this bracket, and the bans are coming out very fast. Let's see. We got Kalista, Caitlyn, Lucian, Draven, Heimerdinger, and Nunu. We didn't even talk about Nunu at all coming into this. Are you in the champ select?
Gamer 1v1. I'm not in the champion.
Oh, let's see if we can get them to cancel so then you can come back in, because I think there's something that you might like here, but I won't spoil it in case anybody is watching, and I definitely won't spoil it for you. Oh yes, they managed to cancel because they forgot to invite you. I don't know why they forgot to invite you. You're a very handy co-caster, you know that? Okay, I'm just met with silence here. That should be alright. As you're looking up all of the stats, we can just get this game up, hopefully, very soon.
Hello?
Yes,
Yeah.
you're back. Let's spectate
Alright.
and let's get Oven into this game, you know? That's what I reckon we should do.
Fantastic. Okay, straight up we got on Davo 1v1. He seems to be a support main with 70% win rate on Leona, 65% win rate on Morgana, a 70% win rate on Maokai, and a 64% rate on Nautilus.
I want to see
So-
the Leona come in 1v1, the full AP Leona. Or as Ovens coined it,
go-
you know, the what is it?
The
The
standard Leona.
Zhonya's. The Zhonya's Leona rush.
Standard Leona, yeah. It's so conducive to a play pattern. You go in, and then your team doesn't follow up, use Onya's, and then you die. Brilliant!
You don't even die because he's Zhonya's. Like, you just bait them and they think, oh, look, he's got no items, he's on low health.
Yeah.
But you have, like, that extra
Yeah.
50 armor, so you just baited everyone.
Also, Gragas. Actually, Davo's. Wow, this guy's really consistent. He's getting like hitting like 60 something % win rates on all of his top played champions. Is quite amazing. Wait a minute, 100%, 100%. Okay, so let's look. Yeah, 17 to 7, 11 to 5, 17 to 9, 16 to 9, 16 to 9. These are some really good stats. What is Platinum for? I don't think for long.
What do you mean you don't think for long?
Well, anyone who's winning at like that rate, like these are all like higher than 65% win rates on like consistently played champions such as Morgana, Maokai, Leona, Nautilus, Rek'Sai. These are all very strong champions, and if you're winning consistently on these champions, like I can't see him staying in Platinum.
Oh yeah, he's going to be moving out really quickly if he continues this win rate. Having said that, though, he played in the majority of the season, so that is season 5. Coming into season 6 with all these changes, we're not quite certain with the new items of top lane whether these champions are going to succeed or not. Once again, lobby has deactivated. We should be getting into this really soon. I know I keep saying that, but you know, it's hope. It's hope. We'll get there. Should just be setting this up, but as you said, you know, he has a reliable around 60% win rate. Obviously, maining support. I do want to see that Leona, but most likely Leona's not going to come out. A champion who we were theorizing beforehand that we haven't really seen either being banned nor picked is Brand, because Brand with Thunderlords or Grasp, either of the two, or even Deathfire, he's just unstoppable there. So there's been a bit of an error. The players have joined into the wrong map, but it should be resolved fairly quickly. You know, all of the players can set this up really quickly. Arvin's just off, looking for more stats to see these.
No.
No.
I'm back here.
Yes, you've got the
Hello?
stats. Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking at these stats, and I'm very happy about a loader. Even though he's got a low win rate, he's played a good 33 games of Jarvan, which is higher than any of the other champions he's played.
Oh, this is what I actually wanted to mention, because I didn't actually want to spoil it for you, but he was hovering the Jarvan just before the game disbanded.
Oh man, that's exciting to me.
I think he heard your pleas and he rewarded you. Oh ye of little faith.
Oh.
You will
Let's
get
see
your
what
Jarvan.
last
You
place
will
he's
get
running.
your all in. But do you honestly think that Tiamat is a good first item coming in here? Because you can't really purchase anything else. And Tiamat did get changed, so it's no longer what it used to be.
Yeah, but you're in 1v1. You don't care about pushing minions.
Unless you're going for the 100 minions. But are you really going to be doing that as Jarvan? Probably not.
You don't have to. You can kill them. Look, it looks like he's going on the Thunderlords as well, which I know that seems like an obvious choice, but Thunderlords with a Tiamat, that's an extra 60. So it's 60 AD on the Tiamat, right? No, it's lower, right?
It's
What's the AD on Tiamat? Do you know?
Whoa. You're asking the analyst for the AD on Tiamat. I know, and I'm certainly not stalling right now. Definitely not Googling this. As I'm talking. No, I actually have no idea. But I'm taking a look at it right now. It should be coming out really soon.
About 30 attack damage, so Thunderlords will deal third of that, or 30% of that, which is 3, 6, 8. It's about 9 damage, 9 damage plus 10 per level, so 39 extra damage on the Thunderlords, plus your Tiamat prop, which is 60% of your AD, and then 3 auto attacks plus the passive, which does 8% of your current health, I believe, and also the Q damage. All of this is applied pretty much as true damage with the Armor Shred from Jarvan's Q. Yeah, it's a lot of damage.
Here we go, just getting you into the lobby right now so then we can all spectate, because, you know, the more the better. And if you jump down right now, I think we're all ready to go. Are you ready to go?
Did you hear about my spiel on damage values?
Yeah, I heard all of it. Yeah, no, these numbers are
okay.
insane, yeah.
This is quite a lot of damage.
Here we go, coming into the picks
very
right
excited
now.
to see this Jarvan pick.
You want to see this Jarvan once more? Because I don't believe that that Davo saw this, because it's blind pick. Yeah, Davo definitely couldn't have seen this, but wow, Karma. We expected the Quinn, and Quinn got through ban phase, but Karma. What do you reckon about this? Especially with heal and barrier? Is this just the long haul? Is this just a sustain game where she builds, I don't know, Revolver, I guess, and just heals off of her mantra Qs?
No, she doesn't have to heal off Mantra Screw. She has her Mantra W to heal an insane amount.
That's actually correct, and it's got to be a lock-in.
The Queen I can understand easily, you know, Quinn's very strong at the moment. We've got her interrupt, her blind, you know. Obviously on Karma, the blind is particularly devastating because most of Karma's damage will come from her empowered Q, if she does try and do the damage, but...
Of course, this is really dodgy because, first of all, Quinn is a meta pick right now, but also her summon is a meta, but it's just so defensive for Karma. Take a look at that heal and barrier. What are we going to see here? Heal, barrier, and Karma shield. I think that she was expecting somewhere along the lines of LeBlanc that she was versing, but no. Unfortunately, they both forgot to ban Quinn. I don't think it was forgotten on the side of Davo. Davo knew that he could have picked Quinn, and this is going to be an exciting matchup because Quinn to win, as we saw, Quinning Streak got his fabled Quinn banned from last game, so we couldn't see it then, but we are seeing it now. How do you reckon this is going to go? Well, that's what we all love to hear, but with 2 minutes ticking down on the clock, it really will be interesting to see whether Karma is going defensive or offensive in the mastery tree. Hopefully, if she went defensive, then she's going to be building a little bit of damage, not all of that spell lifesteal, not all of that spell vamp, because we don't really want to see that sort of sustain game. If we see that sort of sustain game, then it's going to go to 100 CS, by which time I think Davo has the advantage because it's just simply easier to last hit on ADCs than on AP champions. Should be good. Should be good to see.
Hey, Jimmy?
Yes.
Alright, okay, I think I was muted the whole time.
You were muted the whole time. I was just talking to myself and I was wondering, where's Oven? Is he listening to me?
I don't know. I'm quite new to TeamSpeak. Just imagine me as like, you know, a 90-year-old man. Anyway, I just had the most amazing thought. What if Aloda is playing AD Karma?
AD Karma. What's your first item? What is your first item if it's AD Karma?
Or probably...
You can start with the
like
BF sword. You got enough money, don't you?
Yeah, you can go BF sword and you have your shield and you have your snare. Like if they try and do an extended trade with you, they're gonna be locked in for that extended trade because of your W. And you also have that healer. You have a lot of just strong things in your kit. You have chase down potential. You have like running away. It's just a strong kit. And if she goes for those auto attacks, I think that would actually be really, really strong.
I think a little bit in the past I was taking a look at AD Karma top lane who rushed Blade the Ruined King back when Blade the Ruined King was clearly broken. And I saw her really successful and I didn't quite understand why, but it's just absolutely amazing. You know, it's a nice thought coming into this. Maybe it's AD Karma. Do you have the Runes of Masteries up? Do you know if she's taking any AD or attack speed?
I'm not sure what's going on. I can't seem to look up any of these ARAMs.
Oh, that's a real shame. Oh.
Yeah, I can look at, what I can do is I'll look at the actual like Flow King profiles and see if they have an active mastery page.
Yes, because the
Or
active
a
mastery
mastery
page
page
should be
as
the
well.
one that they used last. So no, that's a very good idea. Yeah, go for it.
Alright, just pulling up the stats right now.
Yes. Getting visuals now, Captain.
Alright, we have active J. So
J.
this is the calm one.
Okay.
We have oppressor, which is increased damage to impaired movement. That's sort of a no-brainer, but it could also be that she's planning to go for like, a Bilgewater Cutlass, slow you, get her W on you to root you, and then deal 2.5% increased damage to that whole time, which seems quite strong. Just look at the vampirism instead of the natural talent. So that leads me to believe that she's actually going for an AD build.
I think you might be onto
Because
something here.
yeah,
We
and
just
then we've
didn't even
got
consider this until you mentioned it.
um yeah, she didn't take
Oh,
dangerous game.
yes, this is what we're
This time.
talking about. Just as you predicted, the Legend Oven. Take a look at that. Triple Dorans and Health Pot start for Karma. So yes, it will be an AD Karma, ladies and gentlemen. We will be seeing this on the Rift.
And straight away we see the Null Magic Mantle coming out on Quinn.
She's going to be so
Uh,
bitterly disappointed once she sees the item matchup she's going into. I mean, it still reduces damage from Karma. Karma's Q, Karma's W, they both do magic damage. So yeah, it reduces,
Yeah.
but it's not going to have the effect that she thought it would have.
Oh no, and we also got the traditional Karma coming out from the loader, which I definitely approve of.
I love that traditional Karma skin. You know, it just... It's the dress. The dress is amazing. I like it.
I personally like my women, naked from the neck up. So it definitely.
Oh
does.
wow, I don't think that our channel was quite rated for that sort of content of it from the neck up. But anyway, we see that Karma's established the brush control right now. She's up in the second brush. She's pushed all the way up, and I think Davo secretly knows this because he spent a bit of time in the shop. He doesn't really want to risk anything, and yeah, you will see that.
And the items are revealed.
The items are revealed, and all I want to see is the face cam. I want to see the disappointment on Davo's face as he goes, "Oh no!"
Auto attack. Let's see if we can. Oh, we got the Grasp of the Undying coming out on Quinn.
Oh, that's what we
Hey,
were
what?
talking about. Everybody wants to go for the sustain because, like we were talking about earlier, there's no backing in this game. So, sustain is really what you have.
Alright, I'm just bringing up Davo's masteries right now. Taking me a bit of time.
Sure thing.
Yeah, we've got Warlord's Bloodloss on Quinn. So seems. Oh no, actually. Grasp Undying ADC she's got. So she's got the legendary 6/6/18.
Oh, 6/6/18. I mean, who needs 12?
With the Feast Mastery and the Biscuit Mastery, and then she's gone into Perseverance, Legendary Guardian, and Grasp of the Undying on the defensive tree, and Veteran Scars. Instead of that, the increased shield, lifesteal, and healing, which I don't agree with, but I can see it coming up.
I mean, I quite like Veteran Scars. It is just what it says it is. It's more health, and in a 1v1, when you're not going to be going back, when your level's not going to be going that high, flat health is really quite useful. It's not quite as useful as if we started on level 1, but hey, is anybody really complaining at this point? A little bit of gouge coming out from Davo right there. Doing a bit of damage to a loader, but a loader's just healing this all back. And there's not much burst coming out from either side because it's an 80 Karma, like we were talking about earlier.
Oh no, she's gonna miss the cannon! Oh, thank god.
Oh wow, she got that. Lucky with the double door.
okay,
Oh,
right there,
Davo's
she
going
missed
a
the
little bit ham, but he takes a turret shot for his troubles. I'm not quite sure that was worth. Had to pop his only cookie for that. It's a delicious cookie, but you don't want to pop it for a mistake, like taking a turret hit.
Oh man, this losing CS is making me a bit sad here, Jimmy.
Oh, you can't really afford to lose CS, but having said that, they're completely even now. Minions are matching 16 to 16. Going in for
She
a
gonna
little
try
bit
and use the W here? Oh,
The problem
wait a
with...
second. Are we seeing a Grasp of the Undying on Karma, or?
Oh, she might just well be going for that sustain route. It would be annoying if she were, but because she didn't take Doran's, she's going to be running really low on mana. I mean, she took Doran's Blade, but not Doran's Ring. It should have took Ring, at least one Ring, just so she could get the mana back. She's really paying for it now because she's trying to poke with her Q, and she can't quite get that down.
Huh.
What's up? What information have you unraveled from the Nether?
The LoL King is not quite updated, so I'm just trying to check this out. So it's 4% lifesteal. Oh no, we got a trade here. Stats are gonna have to wait. It looks like
Stats are going to have to wait. They're just
Undying.
autoing each other, but in the long haul, I think David's going to win. He's got more mana,
Wow.
and he's also got his passive Harrier from Quinn. So
I don't know. I just saw a double Grasp the Undying perk over that fight, which quite insane in my opinion.
this is a sustain game. That's all it is. That's all we can say about this. You know, I think that we're going to be seeing the long haul. I think we're going to. I think we're going to see us. And I was talking to CCG's Amigo earlier about this tournament, and and practically we're either going to see really early hams, so between 2 to 3 minutes, the first blood's going to happen, and if we don't see that, then we're going to go to a full 10 minutes with 100 CS being the objective.
Alright, I think I've correctly identified what the runes are for the Karma. And she's got 10 ability power, 6 AD, 40 health, and then hybrid pen on the reds it looks like. So 8 armor pen and 5 magic pen. And 4 armor only.
How do you think this is going to come out for Karma? Because, like, if we take a look at it, she's sustaining. Obviously, she's sustaining. She's on full health.
Oof.
You know, there's no joke, and the damage coming out from her autos is insane. But her mana's taking quite a bit of beating. She's only got up to half mana. She's up to full now because of the relic. But you know, without the relic, she just doesn't have any mana for this fight. And Karma is quite mana
Looks
dependent.
like, oh wow. These Grasp the Undying procs are just brutal on this whole like 1v1 thing. I don't know. I don't think Quinn can actually win this. Like her ultimate doesn't do anything, so her window of power is, I know they both don't have ultimates, but Quinn's ultimate is especially less good in this situation. I don't know. I feel like Karma's got this. Or that said, she just missed a couple of CS, so I'm very down on that.
I doubt it's the end of the world here.
Alright, so what have we got CS counts? What are you making of the CS counts here?
Oh, 45 to 39, and Davo's not going to be getting any of this under turret. Oh, nice little tether. A loader getting ignited, actually. The barrier comes out for a loader. A loader goes in. Davo is coming out really low. Pops the W. W doesn't really do anything in this instance, does it? And first blood comes out to a loader. Doesn't even get killed by the turret. Well done, a loader. Wow, that just goes to show you how much sustain does. But I think it's also a little bit on the mind games, because as we were talking about earlier, that null magic mantle, you know, that was a bit of a letdown for Davo purchase coming out here. But for everybody at home, and sorry for Arvin once more, we will be taking a look at this slow-mo replay, and Davo was extremely low here. He knows that he can't quite trade, but I think turning around for that last order right there is what sealed his fate. And a loader, you know, even gets away with this swag shield, and that's going to be a kill for a loader.
I gotta say, Jimmy, I gotta say that's a bit of inexperience against playing against Karma. Can't go for that health relic when she's in range to land that snare on you.
No, of course not, because that full snare channeled.
Yeah, it takes a few seconds to get rolling, and you can't just walk up and go, oh, it'll be fine. She can't do anything. I gotta feel like she's not experienced with playing against Karma, which is not a knock on Davo, but you know, I feel like if they were more familiar with Karma's mechanics, then they probably wouldn't have gone for that play.
No, you're absolutely correct, and that tether just lined up a perfect mantra Q, which really was the start of the end of Davo, as we saw in that fight coming up. So you know, that's a victory to a loader right there. We will be getting the stats up really soon once everything else gets updated. It's been a slow day today, you know. Not too much has progressed. We're about halfway down on round 2. See, that's pretty good. You're just taking a look at the stats right now. You're gonna.
What bracket are we looking at?
Oh,
yeah. What are we looking at?
That is an amazing question.
So we got a rabbit named Jack, Sphincter Muffin. Sorry, I got a bit of a. You know. Got 2 more brackets to go as well. So CCG, Toxic Des. I swear I'd be the worst telemarketer.
Toxic sides.
Just sort of
Toxic sides.
Toxic sides. Oh, okay. That's how it's pronounced, right?
No, you got this.
Jessica Bay and Fuyuami. I don't speak anime, sorry.
There we go. The bracket should be updated for everybody at home. Waiting for a second. Toxic and Perry. We'll be watching Toxic and Perry.
Fantastic. Let me just
So
bring
that's
up the
gonna
old
be
local arena.
Group T. So Gamer Perry versus CCG Toxide. CCG is Crowd Control Gaming. For everybody who didn't know, it is a team that is based in Canberra, and it is run by Ben Peter Hall, who is CCG Zamiga. So first and foremost, I'd like to extend my thanks to Ben and also to Jenny, who is CCG Moose, for running this tournament. Without it, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be observing these amazing games. So huge thanks to those guys. Unfortunately, I don't have that invite. So, no, I do not have that invite, but we should be going in soon. You got any of the stats coming up, or are you still taking a look?
Actually, I can't get anything on the CCG people. Seems to be a trend.
Oh, okay. That's a bit of a shame.
Neither on Game of Perry. Someone to look up failed.
Maybe their names
Yep.
are not accurate, but that's strange. That's
Like,
very strange coming into this.
I couldn't get any logging on the other. Oh, I couldn't get any Dornixes for the past few games. So anyway, just give me that invite. Why are people still
I'm waiting
adding me?
for it myself. I've got no idea. People are naming themselves all sorts of weird things, and it's making it hard for casters to pronounce.
Oh, is there an thingy? Toxic Sides.
There's no underscore.
Oh, cool! I found it. So there's no underscore. There's no underscore.
No, it's just a space.
So we got like 0 and 2 on Riven.
Oh yes.
0 and 1. This is wins losses, by the way. Not. We got 1 win on Malphite. 2-5, 3-5, 6-3. That's pretty good. 11-5, 1-7 on Zed. 9 deaths on Riven, but 9 kills. 2-8-5. Yeah, so we got like quite high deaths. But,
So if people have
some
been
good
doing
kills
their
as well.
homework, should they be banning Riven?
I'm gonna say, looking at the rank stats, we got highest performance on Annie with 11 games and a 72% win rate. Then we have the Leona and Morgana. So it looks like we got a support name here.
Alright, support mains have actually been coming in fairly alright. Unfortunately we just saw Davo lose to a loader, but nonetheless, support mains have been coming out super strong in this tournament. As I just got invite, which is awesome, because that means if I get invite, then Arvin also gets invite.
Listen, I'm gonna have to just point out one thing real quick. We have a LeBlanc main, it looks like. In CCG Toxic Sides, I think that's the way I pronounce
Wow,
it.
his name is quite accurate if
55
he's been
games.
manning LeBlanc.
55 games of LeBlanc. Granted, he has a 54% win rate with it, but still, it's a lot of experience on LeBlanc. And same as Victor. Victor, he does 39 and 37 games, so 51% win rate on 70 games or so, and he looks like, oh wow. We look at just sheer number of wins. We've got LeBlanc, Victor, and Oriana, and then yeah. Oh god, there's a lot.
Hey, we're
So,
taking
it
a
looks
look at
like
the bands coming in right here. First band is Tryndamere coming out from Gamer Peridot, but second band really quickly is Jinx. What do you make of that? Tryndamere and Jinx. Jinx makes sense because she's an ADC. We haven't seen a lot of Jinx being prevalent in 1v1s.
Gamer. Let's just say what Gamer Peridot's stats are, just real quick. I just want to make a informed commentary. I don't want to sound like a buffoon completely. I am a buffoon, but I don't want to sound like one.
Oh, of course, go for it. I'll just talk about this. Garen, let's talk about Garen. If you get Mark on Garen, you can just completely get onto somebody. Paired between your Q and your E, you're going to be spitting on them for days. They don't know how to react to that. So I think that's actually quite a nice band. Cho'Gath is strange though, because he has a weird choice he needs to make with his ultimate. Whether he wants to use it on a minion to get that extra health for trading, or he wants to use it on the champ but not have that health to trade. Because in short games like this, you don't really have an opportunity after you get to level 6 to use it a second time. So it's going to be interesting to see which one he would have chose if it wasn't banned, but it is banned. Darius and Renekton all gone. They're fairly standard. I mean, I don't think anybody can really beat Darius in a 1v1 if they stand next to him. We've taken a look at Worlds. Fiora tried many times on different teams, different matchups, and she failed every single time. And Renekton, just that renowned lane bully, the one person who can go into range matchups easily, he is also off the table.
Well, straight up, we got a flat out skill matchup loss in CCG Toxic Side's favor. He's gold 5 versus the bronze 5 of Gaming Peridot. That said, Game of Peridot does seem to have quite good stats in Ram at least, and in normal 5v5s he doesn't die that much, a lot less than a lot of the Arrow people I've been looking at. I know I sound a bit disdainful of other people, and I am also a feeder, so, like, you know, I don't know why I'm talking about this, but, like, you know, his last games don't seem to be, you know, terrible for what is considered to be, you know, the worst of League of Legends. So, good luck with you, mate, getting out of Bronze 5, and you know, keep up the good work, try and keep the deaths down, that's all you really need to do to get out of Bronze. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. But hey, like we were talking about earlier, Riven coming out for Toxic Sides. Instant lock-in, by the way. And
Instant.
Yeah, and Game of Peridot is actually sitting on Fiora, which, as we've seen in the past, loses into Riven matchups. Having said that, though, Yes, I want to talk a little bit about Riven. Riven's win rate these past couple of patches going into the preseason 6 has dropped rapidly, and a reason for that is because a lot of AD items have just lost their luster on Riven. Well, not necessarily on Riven, but just overall.
Yeah.
You know, everything's been moving towards crit. Everything with attack speed has crit. Everything else just scales with crit, and Riven's just lost her ability to build, essentially. You know, you can get ahead in lane, but then what do you do with that gold? None of it really synergizes. I guess you can build tank, but it doesn't really do anything for Riven, right? So her win rate has been going down rapidly. Having said that, though, it's into a Fiora. Riven wins into a Fiora. We only have 14...
I've never played the matchup myself or seen the matchup. I gotta feel like that parry ability is quite useful against Riven. I mean, Riven has to go in, do things.
We've seen it a little bit in the World Championship of Season 5, and Riven did marginally win against Fiora if it was 1v1 and everything was left alone. Marginally. And I wanted to talk about the win rate on Riven. So the win rate on Riven has gone down because of the new AD items, synergizing with crit, but having said that, you only have 1400 gold into this game, and you can't buy again. You know, the only way to buy again is to die, and if you die, then you lost the game. So with 1400 gold, you can buy pretty much any item, and I guess it's actually alright on Riven, so it's going to be a skill matchup.
It's going to be a cauliflower warhammer, I think.
A cauliflower warhammer, so you can get the extra Qs out, and a few extra Ws, as you're trading with Fiora.
Not just that, but the shield is very useful on Riven. I was about to say something very stupid. I'm not going to say something stupid, but yeah.
Alright, then we'll just walk past it.
Yeah, the mana versus no mana, it is a deal. If I recall correctly, Fiora does have not significant mana costs, but it does have mana costs to her abilities, so, you know.
I believe that her lunge cost about 30 mana, and she's going to be using that a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if she gets afraid to be on. If I could give any advice to the Fiora, it's like, don't be so scared. Like, you win X trades early. Actually, like, she does actually win the extended trades early. I'm pretty sure with the you know, steroids that she gets. Whereas Riven has to land her ability. So if you can just juke out, like, you know, a Q of Riven, I think you come out on top of the trade.
Yeah, you definitely said some strong words there. But one more thing that we have to notice: Fiora opted to go with Flash.
Yeah. Suppose it is good against Riven. If you flash one of her Qs, like, it's a huge swing. Especially a lot of Rivens like sort of chain their stun after their Q. So like, if she gets a bit too excited, hits her stun immediately after landing the Q, and then you flash it away and stuff, could be quite good.
I mean, here's the thing: we're talking with the knowledge that we know it's going to be a Riven and a Fiora, but they didn't know. So going into this, if you were into a range matchup, I think Flash would have been legitimate. So there's the reasoning behind Fiora. I think it's completely legitimate taking Flash.
Getting on that target.
It's just into a Riven, it might not be. Like you said, though, you know, if you can flash one of her Qs, or if you can flash her QW, that's going to be absolutely massive for Fiora. And then she can just parry out one more ability. It's going to be absolutely insane coming into this tournament. But we are going into a loading screen right now. You want to see if skins equal wins? Have you got the stats on this? Do skins equal wins indeed?
Skins equals wins. We had that traditional Karma coming out. It's the no skin twin, so I gotta say that was...
There we go, that's one stat, you know? We're going to keep tally right now, and that's 1-0.
Yeah, we have double skin.
Oh, this just makes our life hard, doesn't it?
I'm looking at the stats and the rooms and masteries. And it looks like we got Fire Jungle on the Fiora, so we've got 13 attack damage, 9 armor, uh, 3 cooldown reduction and magic resist per level plus 4.5% attacks. It's a bit of a hodgepodge, but like it's got a good blend of attack stats, I guess.
Or
And
every single stat
yeah,
is used, so nothing's quite wasted.
yeah, looks like she hedged a bit with going with the MR. Look at the masteries that are active. We've got 80 total, but she's got that Warlord's Bloodlust, it looks like, on Fiora. So, yeah, it could come up. It's quite possible that it was changed. This is just, it says that she's using this. Looks like we've got Thunderlords on the Riven, actually, so.
Thunderlords on the Riven. Well, Riven did actually get off platform slightly earlier than Fiora, so she's going to be able to get that brush control dominated. Also, if we take a look at the item differential, we got Boots coming out from Fiora as opposed to Doran's on Riven. And why do you love it, Oven? Tell us. Why do you
love it so much because it looks like Fiora's realized that the whole game is about dodging the Q. That's all she needs to do is like sidestep the Q slightly, just a little bit, to avoid the follow-up damage from the stun and stuff, and she will out-trade Riven if she can dodge that. If she doesn't like fall for the uninteractive trade that Riven has, where she like Qs you and then stuns you and then like shields away, like, you know, you can pretty easily win that, I think, as Fiora.
Unfortunately, Toxic Sides didn't actually move into the brush a little bit forward. I mean, it's a respect, you know, if Fiora was standing there, then you were going to walk into a little bit of trouble, but he definitely had the advantage to take over that brush, and he didn't take it. They still don't know their items yet, so it's fairly safe, you know, coming into this. You don't want to take fights that you don't know if you can win or not. And they're both just going to stay in the brush right here because they don't know whether they can win or not. But here we go, Toxic Sides knows.
Whoop. Lord's coming out. Oh, the sustained damage coming out. But Riven's thing is going to come up in a second.
Wow, and I think Gamer Peridot actually came out ahead there despite also having boots, you know? So if you can come out on higher trades and also have less items in terms of both AD and sustain, I think you might be having something really good going for you.
Oh wow, yeah, this is looking quite good.
One thing that we forgot to mention is that because of boots and not an extra Doran's, or we're going to have to pause that thought for a second, I think this is going to be the deciding fight, you know? Or Ignite comes down from both, and a flash, but Toxic Sides actually managed to take it. On the back wing, wow. That is so close though. I don't even know how much health that is. Yeah, let's just watch that again right now and go into slow-mo. Let's see if we can fix this for Oven. Right now we can't, but hopefully we will be able to soon.
No, I'm just watching it on the client, mate.
Oh yeah, I'm watching it as well for everybody at home, so that's what we'll be analyzing here. But as we take a look right here, Fiora's just last hitting like normal. Let's speed it up a little bit, and this is the engage. This is the engage.
She wasted time to flash, I think.
Yes, so there's the stun comes down successfully, and actually manages to dodge the third Riven Q with the parry.
You got to think that the minion damage was also a problem there too.
Yes, the minion damage was huge there. If we take a look at Toxic Sides, he survives on 9 HP. So that was so close, and I think that minions actually called it for that game. So yeah, MVP minions there. MVP minions.
Well, no, I don't think it is. I don't mean to rag on players, but like, minions are a factor. Like, you can't just go into trade with someone when there's a whole creep wave there. Like, you're going to take an extra, 50 to 100 damage from that creep wave.
Exactly. Once you're level 6, you can sort of avoid the minion damage. But if you're level 3, no, minions are doing about as much as champions there, if they're just wailing on you non-stop.
Exactly, and I gotta feel like that was a bad decision. In hindsight, yeah, it was a bad decision, but at the time, Riven's cooldowns were going down a bit and stuff, and it was a window to go in. I can't agree with going into that creep wave. I'm not going to say, oh, it was minions that did all the work. He chose to go into that situation and paid for it just barely, and it was very close.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, nobody forces you to engage, so yeah, I don't think that was too much of a great choice. Having said that, though, he survived on 9 HP, so it was calculated.
If the flash had come out earlier, it might have done something. Or if he flashed away, units away, and then waited for the dash cooldown, come up, and then queued in, might have been better. I'm not sure. But,
yeah, well,
match up myself.
Or you could have not taken flash and taken exhaust. But hey, we're all talking without as if we know the matchup. And for these players, they don't know. They don't know whether it's going to be melee or range. And if you take Fiora into a range, you're going to thank your lucky stars that you took Flash. So I'm not going to wail on the Flash at all.
Oh no, I have no problem with the Flash. I have a slight problem with the usage of the Flash. I think it should have been used earlier to dodge one of the Q actions.
Yeah, if you dodged the Q, you would have dodged the W as well. And that could have just made the story could have been completely different after that. So yeah, very well played to both of them. Sides coming out on top there. So if we take a look at the bracket,
thing you got to do with these melee matchups, especially, is you got to work out what your opponent's trying to do and try and play in a way that stops that. So that's always been my stance on like sort of 1v1s and stuff like that in top lane, what have you, and just find out what your opponent's doing and try and stop it.
I mean, that's exactly what it is, right? It's just mind games. And with Riven, there's not too much guessing. I mean, it's fairly linear how Riven plays. She uses her abilities.
It has a play pattern, yes.
Yes, and it's a very obvious pattern, you know. I have a feeling we're going to be hearing that a lot, especially in a 1v1 tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, bless you there. We're just waiting to see who's coming up next on this ladder. Shouldn't be too long. I think this is a good time to cut out a little bit, you know, take a 5-minute break, rest our voice. No. Shh, bad. We're actually in game right now. We're coming in right now. You should have invite right now. Yep. There we go. Gloom and Aloda. So we watched both of these players play.
I thought I was getting invited to an ARAM. I was like, oh, I would love to play an ARAM. Okay, so we got Gloom. This is unique. What is it? It's Aloda versus. Okay.
Yes, it's Aloda versus Gloom. So Aloda was the winner of Aloda versus Devo 1-1-1. That Karma
with that AD Karma pick.
Yes, with that legendary AD Karma pick who faked out the Null Magic Mantle. I don't think we can praise that highly.
Gloom is Diamond 5 and went like 0-5 on Fizz, like 0-5.
I think we're going to see a Fizz ban come out here.
I don't know. He lost going 15-9-3. I don't know how that happened. Fizz. Let's take a look at the everything. Yep. You know what I'm seeing? Good players have 20 rune pages.
Yeah, they do.
How many rune pages do you have, Shadow Warrior?
20. You?
I have 20.
Oh, good. Yeah, what do you know? We're good. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we're just good. Here we go. Yeah, the J4 ban. You know, they were all listening to you. You were going on a rant about how J4 could just win every single 1v1, and they were listening to you.
He literally can win every single 1v1.
Into every single champion. You heard it here first. You don't even need Caitlyn.
Every single, including Caitlyn, especially Caitlyn.
Yeah, especially Caitlyn. So you just leave Caitlyn open, bait them into picking Caitlyn, and then you pick the J4. Yeah. We're going to see a Karma again. That's an insta-lock. Yeah. He's completely confident on this Karma pick. He's just like, yeah, I know how to do this.
Ooh. Gloom going for his Fizz after losing the last 5 games. Like, he's played 5 games in a row of Fizz and lost every single one.
That is unfortunate, but, you know, he's looking to he's looking to change his streak here, so, you know, good luck to him. Hopefully he does. This is the same matchup as before with the Quinn in terms of the summoner spell, so Exhaust and Ignite. And as we saw, they actually get countered pretty hard by heal.
Oh, I think I see what the problem is here.
Yeah, what's up?
So he's duoing with Platinum 1 GG Dragon, who is on a losing streak himself. So it looks like he was duoing with a friend, and I'm not going to say that, you know, his friend caused him to lose or anything, but I got to say, when you go 15-9-3 on Fizz, like, something went wrong somewhere.
Yeah, something went wrong if you went 15-9 and you didn't win. Yeah.
Yeah. Any game where Fizz gets more than 10 kills, I would assume would be a win, unless like your team is very difficult to carry.
That's all you need to 100-0 the AD carry. And what's the enemy AD carry going to do? Build Genja, 3 Doran's Blades, and then a Guardian Angel?
Yeah, no. Giant's Belt into, like, I don't know, randoms.
Giant's Belt into Ionian Spark. Rip Ionian Spark.
What is Ionian Spark? I've never heard of it.
It's what got replaced by Static Shiv.
Ionian Spark. What is this? So I'm just looking this up on the wiki.
I can't believe you never heard of Ionian Spark. It was like the thing to rush on all top laners because like, oh yes, now I have all the wave clear. It's like Static Shiv, but tank. But also Static Shiv.
Oh my god, every fourth auto attack does it?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It was amazing. I loved it. And like, you used to build it on ADC as well. Like, it used to be my go-to item on Tristana. And I used to go Ionian Spark and then Frozen Mallet. People were like, why do you have more tank than the top laner?
So what do you think's gonna come out here? Obviously we've got that Fizz. Do you think we might see a bit of AD Fizz? I know I love to talk about an AD of something or other, but I gotta feel like it's either Sheen or some like triple Dawn stupid nonsense.
Well, it's all up in the air. We just have no idea.
Alright, let's take a look at how
it's up to anything. I mean, if you go AD, you have the Hell sustain. If you go Doran's Ring, you know, you can sustain mana-wise. You can just spam all of your abilities out like crazy, especially on Howling Abyss, like you were talking about. You can even go for a combination. You can go for the fabled Tridoran, where you go for the blade, the ring, and also the shield. What do you think about that build?
It's interesting. Like, it does work on Fizz. It does work on Fizz.
It works on Nasus.
Yes, it does. I think I did that in the game once.
It's such a good build, and people get trolled so hard by it.
There's a Fizz room page on him which has attack speed instead of MR, and hybrid pen, and then flat AP quints. That could be the one that comes out here with, as you mentioned, the double Dorans like ring / like double all double Dorans like 8, and yeah, that could be interesting. Oh, we got skin versus no skin. Although traditional card, I'm not sure if that counts in the skin.
Well, you didn't purchase it. Nobody can purchase traditional Karma. Let's put it that way.
But he's an old school guy.
Yeah, he played Karma when she was like, he was playing Karma when her shield scaled off people's missing health. No,
also,
that was
Gloom, diamond, and you don't have skin for like your Fizz. Like, come on, man. Step up your game.
Come on, man. Do you even play Fizz?
Are you even diamond, bro? Like, why didn't you have skin? What is this? Alright, so items coming out.
Oh,
they're just
there we
considering
go.
what to buy.
You know, it's a standard
triple
build.
Doran's blade.
Yeah, we saw that before. Oh, that is ham. That is ham
Alright,
sandwich.
let's see what our runes he's got. Let's just.
We're getting some fish in our ham sandwich here. That's 60 AP coming out for Fizz, right at level 1.
Alright, so armor penetration 15, penetration 5. Is that from runes?
Oh,
It is from runes. So he's running that 5% attack speed, no MR, and 14 AP from Quints, or 15 AP from Quints, and then the hybrid pen reds with the health per level seals, it looks like. Or there might be just flat health seals. So 50 extra health or 72 extra health, it looks like.
Well, that's what you want to do in 1v1s, because you're not going to scale this effectively. You know, first of all, you're not going to go back, and second of all, you're not going to get any levels. I mean, I think the highest level that we saw in this game was level 9 before it was GG. Yeah, you're just not going to get levels in this game, and that's like half. That's half of the max level.
Just looking through here. We'll see what the masteries are coming out. I think we got Grasping and Dying again on Karma.
Hey, why change something if it's not broken? But there we go, the Thunderlord's Decree coming out for Fizz. He's been doing damage, but he's not taking any. The tether doesn't actually get broken by the Troll Pole, so they're both going fairly low. Is Gloom going to continue this? He's not even going to wait. It's just a straight level 1. Ignite comes out, but Barrier counters it. They're both going extremely low. But Karma manages to get the first blood, dies, but, you know, it's worth, because not only did he get more gold, but he also won the tournament. That was so close. And let's see if I can replay that. I don't know if we can or not.
Again. That was. What could have been done
just a little bit further. Here we go. Here's the initial jump in. Karma manages to shield herself, puts the tether onto Fizz, knows that the tether won't get broken by the troll pole. Fizz goes up, comes down, does a bit of damage, takes a bit of damage in return. Here we go. Now they're just trading a couple of autos, but Fizz is being damaged by the range minions. As you can see here, Exhaust comes out. A loader gets taken low, but here we go. Ignite, countered by the barrier. And the last auto for the kill. Wow, that was high octane, and that wasn't even 2
barrier
minutes.
Comes out. Oh, heal as well. Even with the grievous wound, it wasn't enough.
So there we go. Wow, that wasn't even 2 minutes, and the game's already over.
That was amazing.
That was amazing.
I'm not even mad. That was great.
I mean, how can you be mad when you're looking at games like this? You know, this is what I wanted. It's not what you wanted. It's what I wanted. I wanted to see really quick games, and that was super quick. There wasn't even any CS shed there.
It's quite interesting. Oh.
You're just watching that over and over, aren't you? You're quite excited about that one.
Oh, that was good. Who's first toxic side? Let's check.
So unfortunate there, you know. A loader does manage to progress, and I think we're going to see a lot of this AD Karma come out, being super strong in this tournament. I don't think anybody's really found a counter to it. I don't think anybody knows about it, to be honest.
I gotta say, like, that was the most interesting thing. Okay, we have Platinum versus Bronze in terms of just pure ranked, but it's quite possible that Jessie doesn't play a lot of ranked. Looks like she's playing a lot of Poro King. So.
Hey, Poro King's really fun, you know. It's a new game mode coming out by Riot. Everybody should try it. It's quite interesting, but if you take a look at Toxic Sides, he was the Riven from the game from before. He performed quite well on that Riven. He engaged on the Fiora. He managed to land his second and third Qs along with his Ws.
Yep.
The W was dodged out, but otherwise, you know, he would have landed it if the flash didn't exist. So I think he really does know his Riven. He also has a skin for Riven, and as we were talking about earlier, skins equal wins. Yeah, skins get wins. Yeah, you definitely know it.
Okay, so just look at Jessie as it was. Seems to be interested in playing MF in ranked.
Oh, can I quickly interrupt? Bands coming out. Riven, Nunu, Annie versus Ari, Lux, MF. So we were talking about the Riven, and you just quickly touched on the MF. Both of them are off.
Yep, so that's basically the last champions played by Jessie Bay.
Hey, everybody's doing their homework here, which is good.
Versus Toxic, Riven. Was the Renekton the insta lock.
Oh, wow, yeah. Well, you know, the Riven's off the table. What are you going to do now? You're just going to pick Renekton. It's just the other one.
No, the double dash is particularly good against Caitlyn. Especially if Caitlyn, if this Caitlyn does get locked in, I don't think that the second net is enough to distance the gap to get away from Renekton. And Renekton also has that sustain with his Q. Yeah, so...
Yeah, but, you know, at the end of the day, Caitlyn is Caitlyn. So what can you really do about it? Instead of taking Ignite, actually decides to take Barrier on Caitlyn. Yeah, I think that's actually going to be a bit of a downfall because, you know, you need Ignite to counter heals, and Renekton actually relies on heals a lot because if he's in the middle of a minion wave, which he would be if he's diving you, he's just going to heal back so much.
Oh man, it's so much damage.
Yeah, it's so much damage, so much healing.
We got a rune page here, which I think he'll pick, which is his Zed rune page, which has 4 armor, 11 armor, 10, 6 health per level, and 15% cooldown. Actually, he probably won't pick that because it's
15% CDR. No, yeah, you can't pick scaling CDR. Not into this sort of team.
Not in this. No. So Azir, they got like Jace probably.
Jace.
Let's see, yeah, 15 attack damage, 12 magic resist, 9 armor.
I was just looking for like straight AD, just like a full AD page on Jace.
Yeah, he has a full AD page set up already.
I think he's gonna pick it. It's what you need to do.
Yeah,
definitely. You just need to go ham. We want to see the same thing that happened with the Fizz last game. You know, you just ignore the minions. You just think, this is my power spike. If I wait, I'm just gonna get poked out. So I'm just gonna go in at literally level 3, no minions.
It's gonna be that Renekton all in level 1, level 3.
It's not level 1. You're gonna have all of your abilities, and Renekton does have a power spike at level 3.
Man, it's such a shame that no one picked Jarvan, you know, like having that power spike at level 2.
Hey, we've seen quite a few Jarvan bans coming out this tournament. I think people have been listening to you. You know, they know you're legit.
I'm not legit. Jarvan is though.
I'm not legit.
Have you listened
Jarvan
to
is.
him
There we
talk?
go. Quote of the tournament. I'm bad at League, but I win anyway because I pick Jarvan.
Yeah, you can literally build anything on Jarvan and it still does things. Like I built like attack speed Jarvan the other day.
Attack
It didn't
speed
even have, like-
Devourer Jarvan. You get that double. No, you
Yes,
can't
I
even
did,
get
actually.
double passive proc. So what's the point?
Yeah, there's no point. I just did it.
And you won.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying if this silverish goldish scrub like me can win with Jarvan building attack speed, I think you can win with him too.
You just leave the fountain with no items. You disrespect them and you win anyway.
Yeah, you can build all mana crystals and you'll probably do quite well.
Full mana crystal Jarvan. So then you can engage more because you're mana dependent.
Yeah, look. Here was my build. My build was Titanic Hydra, Blade of Ruin King, and Devour, and then I was building Deadlands.
Wow.
Yeah. Remember, I was in that game with you, and I just like kept 100 to zeroing Rengar. By
Yeah, I
really
remember
fast.
that, and like I was sort of wondering, is he playing Ultimate Bravery?
I just kept killing this Rengar by auto attacking him like several times. He just died. It was amazing.
There you go, you go, Jarvan. You can build him any way you want. You just win the game with him.
Yeah, Tank, full AD, crit. Like,
he
what else
scales
you want?
off all
You
of
can
them.
even build- Yeah, he also scales off AP, but just don't.
Get Lich Bane on.
But, if you have to, yeah, go like just build mono Lich Bands. It'll work.
Dude, like
All right, well,
Jarvan's auto attack range is 175. That's longer than any other melee champ.
you can actually attack over walls as Jarvan. That's how long. That's how good Jarvan is. He can attack
Can you?
over walls as a melee.
Can you?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, so if you're near river, you can actually attack over that ledge, like sort of wall thing,
Oh wow.
like to the bot lane, to the river from your own jungle. You can attack.
Across from Dragon, right?
No, not that long. Just long enough so that if you know that ledge where like there's that entrance to blue buff on.
Yeah, on the other side of river. Yeah, so not on Dragon
can
side, but on the
auto-attack
other
over
side.
that wall.
Yeah. Oh,
If
that's,
people are standing on the other side of the wall, you can auto attack them.
if they're hugging the wall, you can auto attack them. That's insane. I didn't even know that. I thought you could queue them and be like, huh, wow, I queued you. But
Hilarious.
like, yeah, you can auto as well. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Anyway, we're on the
Alright,
riff
so we're
right
loaded
now.
into the game now.
Yeah, skin versus
We
skin.
have equal skins. We have that mastery on Caitlyn. That mastery score, I don't know. It's gonna be hard to beat. What do you think?
Well, I'm just waiting for the items. I want to see what these guys pick before they face off on the rift. There we go. Okay, oh wow. Okay. Well, yeah, no, we should have probably expected that.
I would have liked to have seen a cauliflower warhammer on Renekton.
Well,
but
that's it, isn't
super
it? If you
difficult.
buy one of those, you can actually get off 2 queues in a trade instead of 1. It's all about the breakpoints.
Yeah.
But it looks like they're both going to rush for the brush advantage. Renekton actually gets it, but you know Caitlyn has traps, so Caitlyn can always scout out. I don't think it's particularly dangerous for her at any point.
I think Renekton's power spike is when there's a minion wave.
So then he can double dash, right?
Yeah, and also get the maximum heal off his Q.
It's so dangerous
fight
into a
Renekton when you're
Caitlyn though,
already
because
using
Caitlyn
it.
can just net back.
Yeah, but like, net uses mana and like it's cooldown, like, and Renekton can sustain it back up, especially with triple doins.
You do have that
I don't
point,
know,
and mana is going to be an issue, as we saw with that Karma. Even though we are on Howling Abyss, mana is still going to be an issue. You get higher mana regen, but if you don't have any base, and it doesn't really make that much of a difference, does it?
Alright, so we'll see if he goes for the all-in right here. I don't know, this is the diamond coming out. He's like, yeah, I don't have to either go in. Oh wow, that's Miss CS.
Oh, he's going to wait for his legendary level 4 power spike. That's even stronger than his level 3 power spike because he has 2
Oh,
points
there
in
it
his
is right
Q.
there.
Oh, there we go. Net back, like I said,
is
you know the
cancel.
headshot? Yeah, you get the headshot.
I'm sorry, I can't deal with this. This is a cancel.
No, yeah, I was playing a game against Amiga earlier, and we just concluded that you can't play against Caitlyn. It's just so hard. I mean, he could because he picked Zed. I think Zed is like underrated. Well, there we go. The double dash into the stun Q. That's quite a good trade for Renekton.
His Q's coming up, so he can sustain off that great wave. Ow.
Hey, here's what we were
Fucking
talking about
ow.
earlier.
Jesus. fucking.
Oh,
That
wow.
get by grass
Yeah, that
Caitlyn.
trade is absolutely insane. Or nets in. Not quite sure where you're netting to. Maybe just to deny some experience. I mean, denial is still denial. If you can get to level 4 and he's level 3, you know, you can zone him out quite a bit.
You think we could see like he's gonna E in
He's got a second E.
oh, maybe not.
No, he's just gonna let it time. Wow, look at the CS difference though. Caitlyn has 10, whereas oh wow, that headshot. Caitlyn has 10, whereas Renekton has 2. Look at that CS differential.
Yeah, it's to be expected there. I mean,
Of
this is
course, I'm just
Caitlyn.
waiting for the relics to come up. Caitlyn's just using her traps so well here. Jessie Bay is completely zoning out. You know, I used to think that denial was a river in Egypt until I saw this game.
Very good.
This is just absolutely insane. If
Excellent
he steps
usage.
on that trap, he's dead.
Oh, gotta help out there.
Oh no. There we go. You don't use it for the health, use it for the mana, so then you can proc out more.
Why don't you use his Q? Are you like saving up for a combo, or he wants to get the full empowered?
He's gonna wait until level 6. He's gonna get to level 6, he's just gonna snipe Renekton.
Actually, yeah. Level 6. Renekton can actually can kill Caitlyn from full health.
That's correct, but like we were talking about earlier, Caitlyn's trying to deny some experience. She denied experience from like half a wave. So she's got to get to level 6 and Renekton's not. Not even from the end of this wave if he gets all of this experience.
He is level
which
6,
I doubt he
actually.
will. No, Renekton's level 5.
No, Caitlyn is level 6. She can ult at any time. Though.
I mean, I don't really think it's worth saving. You're right. Actually, no. In Summoner's Rift, it's worth saving. But
No. I firmly believe that. Yeah, he's hit 6 now. He can actually kill Caitlyn.
there we go.
If
There we go.
Caitlyn doesn't play this correctly.
We're
Depends
watching
on
for the
exhaust
engage.
that comes out.
We're
Yeah,
watching for the
like,
engage. Yeah.
I think he has to go for it.
I mean, you're not going to get a better chance, right? Like Eminem said.
There
This is
we
your
go,
one
yeah.
opportunity. Here we go. The ult comes out. Exhaust comes down. Gets trapped though.
Oh, there we go.
Oh
there
wow,
we go.
he's on full fury. The next Q. Oh, the exhaust coming out just in time for the Q. And here comes the snipe. That's going to be first blood out to the Caitlyn. Oh, that's the advantage of saving your ult as Caitlyn. No, you're absolutely right. I stand corrected. And Jessie Bay comes out with the victory on Caitlyn versus Renekton. So if we take a look at that replay just a little bit more, I think I went a little too far back there.
I can't watch. It's my boy Renekton. It's my boy Renekton.
Here we go. So he stands back, he gets to level 6. This is when it clicks in his mind, I'm going to go in. I got my ult, I'm going to go in. So he's just standing around turret a little bit.
He's got her.
Yep. Minion comes up, he says, this is going to be my dash. Here we go. Wait for it. There's the dash. Let's slow it down. Second dash. Gets netted, so there's the auto headshot. Steps on the trap. So there's another headshot. Gets Q'd in the face. Gets another auto. He goes too low. At this point, you can't back out. You autoed, you Q'd. There was the exhaust, just in time. You can't back out. It's not an option. If you back out, then you're just going to get... Yeah, there we go. Auto, ult, and Renekton goes down for the win for Jessie Bay. Yeah, so with Renekton, you can't back out. It's just not an option. Especially into Caitlyn, who has that ultimate. You just can't back out.
Alright, we've got the bans coming up for the next game, which is between Conduct and Fear Death Reaper. And we have Kindred ban, Vayne ban, Caitlyn ban, Quinn ban, Rand ban, and it's written here as Black ban, but I think they mean Lucian. Although it could mean Ilaoi, right?
Hey, it could well be.
Yeah. Ilaoi is a black ban, right? Hey, sorry, that was very, very poor taste. Alright, let's get these stat arenas up. Alright, Fear Death Reaper. He's gold 3 and currently 1-0 and 0-1. Take a look what he plays. He's playing a lot of poor Kim. Playing some Cogmore, some Cho'Gaths, and looks like a lot of top laners. Yeah, it looks like he plays a lot of top. So, let's see what comes out there. Rank stats, win percentage. He hasn't played a lot of ranked, but he is he's relatively positive. So
He's relatively positive. I mean, yeah, that's what counts. Yeah, he's relatively positive.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, comparison to other people.
Yeah, no, I completely understand.
People keep adding me.
Oh, people are always adding you. You're popular, dude. You're popular. I told you.
No, no, it's not that. Alright, let's look. And the app guy is Conduct. Very cool game. Cool name. Cool
I
name.
actually quite like it, to be honest. It's an amazing name, Conduct. I'm surprised that it
Alright,
was
so we have.
open for him. Or maybe he like rushed it as soon as OCE opened. He was like, "Oh yes, Conduct."
Alright, so we got Bane, Corky, Callister, Lucian, Callister as his last like 5 summoners with hits. So gonna have to say that's a an 80 carry main right there. Platinum 3 80 carry main. Um hmm. Diva, Lucian, Thresh and Callisto and Corky are his main champions, it looks like. He's also played one game on Jarvan, going 4-2-10. Yeah. So we could still see the Jarvan pick, I believe.
I mean, that would be your dream, wouldn't it? To see Jarvan come out.
I don't know though, because I'm so excited for Jarvan, and like someone's gonna play him and just like miss the EQ, like even miss the slow, and then like the flash backwards and still die. It's just gonna suck. So
I mean, that's what happens, right? You have high expectations for a person to do well, and if they don't, then you're bitterly disappointed. But if they do, you're just like, oh, well, that's what I expected.
yeah, it's the best case scenario is my what I already know is confirmed. The worst is I get like bitterly disappointed about some noob like feeding on my boy Jarvan.
You got that Jarvan rep. You're
my
not
job
just
to feed
Oven,
on
you're
Jarvan.
also Oven, the one who plays Jarvan.
I wish there was a Jarvan summoner icon. I shit out of that.
They're gonna release a legendary Jarvan skin, and you're gonna be all over that.
Oh my god. I will like I don't know like rob a bank or some shit. Like I will just to get that skin. This is a cool icon.
What do you want? What do you want in a skin? In a Jarvan skin?
Legendary Jarvan. I just like a visual update to Jarvan to be honest.
Oh, so you don't even want a skin, you just want a visual update for Jarvan.
It's a bit yeah. I want a visual update. If it's a legendary skin,
You just want everything, because a visual update means every other skin gets updated as well.
yeah. It's just his audio. He only has like 12 lines, like for everything. Whereas,
Oh,
like,
you
some
want
champions,
like an
all
audio update as well. You want Brent? Do you think that you could voice Jarvan?
no, I'm not manly enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
Nobody is worthy enough for Jarvan.
Yeah. Whoever purchases Jarvan shall have the power.
Here we are, coming into Champs League. Coming into Champs League super quick.
Interesting question. What would make me happy for Jarvan? I don't know. Like, it could be like a Captain Jarvan or something. I don't know.
Captain Jarvan.
And he like.
Wait, you mean like a boat captain?
You're gonna have to have something like interesting with his ultimate. It's the same thing, but like sort of. I don't know. Maybe,
It's like a
the
tidal
inside
wave
of it
that
is
comes
colored.
up.
No, it could be like a colored ultimate. Like the inside of it is like different color. Like the ground beneath his feet changes color at his impact point. Like there's like a shockwave or something. That would look cool.
Crazy.
And it's not like Jarvan ult is like unclar. Like it's not like lack clarity. Like you can tell where it is and stuff like that. So like having a few visual effects in the middle when it happens isn't gonna really mess up anything. Okay, so we've got Conduct playing his Callisto that he has played quite a lot of it in ranked. And we got the Aurelia coming out. As someone who's like not played Aurelia or Callisto, I'm going to defer to you on this, Shadow War.
Okay, well, Callista, it's been talked about at IWCA and also All Stars. It's a bit of a letdown champion in 1v1 because you only have 2 abilities. You can't take your W because all of that damage comes from you having somebody to tether to. And you can't in a 1v1, obviously, and you don't have an ultimate because it literally does nothing. So all you have is your Q and your E. I guess that doesn't make too much, it's not too much of a problem because you're not gonna ever get enough skill points to get something other than your Q or your E. but you only have two abilities. Having said that, though,
Mm.
those two abilities are really strong. You have a Q that scales 1-to-1, applies on-hit effects, pierces through things that die, and your E, I don't even need to say, CLoLS's E is just absolutely insane. It brings in all of that surprise damage that if you don't play Kalista a lot, you don't know the exact numbers on.
Well, you can sort of tell you have like 700 kebabs skewers on you.
Oh,
And,
I
like, you're
believe
just
that
like,
there's a maximum cap. It's been tested. It's only 255.
sure. Well, yeah, you can generally tell when she has a lot of stacks on you.
Yes,
So,
if you have 20 stacks, then you're probably dead. Having said
20
that, though, if
stacks,
you
baby.
yeah, like if you allow Kalista to get 20 stacks on you, especially as an Irelia, somebody who can dash, somebody who can sustain as well, somebody who can stun, you're doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong if Kalista can get 20 stacks on you.
Oh yeah, you know what they say, right?
Oh, what's up?
I don't know what they say. That's why I'm asking you.
No, I don't know what they say either. But it's actually an interesting matchup now that I think about it more and more. A Kalista into Irelia, because Irelia's whole deal is she takes damage and then we have a bit of a problem here. But surely we should be getting back into the game. It's not too much of an issue. But Kalista and Irelia. The whole deal coming into Irelia is she needs to take a lot of damage and then she can stun you. Kalista actually doesn't do that much damage until she rends. So I think she's going to be able to deny a lot of the stun. Because if Irelia's just auto-attacking, especially with hidden style up, she's going to be winning the trade all the way until Kalista E's. That's so
That's an interesting point. I always got to say that, Aurelia always has a passive up. I know I've said this a couple of times, like, passive being up. I literally mean, the hidden state of a champion that causes them to be better, i.e. Aurelia being on low health, Olaf being on low health. I didn't think about the whole, Kalista. I still don't think she does enough damage. Like, she's got to be poking, and then Aurelia can pretty much always have the stun up. I'm 90% sure that her stun is going to be, work 100% of the time, 60% of the time, every time.
100% of the time, 60% of the time. Well, I don't know. If they're just going to be trading and straight, whacking each other auto for auto, then Irelia's going to be doing more damage. Even if she doesn't activate a W, she's still going to be doing more damage. So if Irelia wants to do more damage in the sense that she stuns Kalista, she has to do less damage, which is really awkward to think about and also to execute. It's going to be strange. Yeah.
Look at this ranked team stats. It's 091 on Corky. I don't know how that happens. On conduct, just seems 06 on Vayne, 09 on Corky. The only one that she's done well on is Kalista. Everything else has it's 0 and 7 something. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just it's a thing.
I think there's been a bit of an issue there. Are you still in Champ Select?
No, I got disconnected.
Yeah, I got disconnected as well. That's super strange.
Are they playing?
Apparently the game is already over. I mean, we have a 3-minute delay, but apparently the game is already over.
Yeah. I can see that happening.
Oh man, that's super weird because even for the other ones, you remember that 2-minute game that ended really quickly? Even for that we connected, so it's quite strange how we can't get this, and I doubt that we can get into it because obviously it happened. That's super strange.
What does the bracket look like? Yeah, it just looks like Gimpley's got updated, and we have Jessica Bay versus Jessica Bay came out on top versus Toxic Sides, of course, and Sphincter Muffin and Jessica Bay will be Jessie Bay. Is coming out.
Yeah, so that's really unfortunate that we didn't actually get to watch that game. The whole game just sort of went by.
We have Gimpley's versus probably. I'm gonna call Jessie Bay.
You're going to call Jessie Bay? We've been watching her play a little bit and she's been succeeding quite well through, so it's fair to say. But of course she has to win her game.
No, people seem to give her Caitlyn, so yeah.
Yeah, if everybody manages to give her Caitlyn, then that's it.
Alright, well anyway, it's been a pleasure to cast with you, Shadow Warrior, and unfortunately, I gotta go catch my breakfast. I got up straight away to cast, and I'm just a bit too tired for this. So, I will be watching from the sidelines, and I'm looking forward to hearing your commentary and seeing what happens in there. in the coming up games.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much for joining us. I think Oven's gonna just duck out a little bit right now, but we're gonna be bringing in Rabbit Rain. So just give me 1 second while I manage to find him. Here we go. Gary's mod Rabbit Rains. Here we go. Hopefully he should be ready. So let's try and jump in. So Rabbit, are you there? Can you hear us?
I am here.
All right. Well, everybody, give a warm hello, to Rabbit Rains. He will be my co-caster now as Oven ducks out, and we're going straight into a game between Lord Chicken 666 and Conduct. So, do we have any information on this game? Bans? Have bans happened yet?
I don't believe bans have happened yet, but this matchup in general is going to be a really hype game. Watching these guys play, they both play a lot of AD carries. Lord Chicken's just come off the back of a Malphite game, so I think we're going to see something pretty explosive.
All right. Well, that's what we want to see. I was talking to Oven earlier.
Course.
I want to see explosive games. He wanted to see really slow and methodical games, especially the ones that were revolved around sustain, because we saw a lot of Karma coming out here, AD Karma that was relying on the sustain, and we also saw a lot of exploitation using triple Dorans and Grasp of the Undying on ADCs. So, yeah, it's up to people's flavor. If they really like watching sustain long fights happen, then they would rather the latter. But for me, I just want to see these really high octane games where people just go all in, preferably before CS even gets taken.
I absolutely agree. On the flip side, these guys, AD carries have quite good wave control, so I don't know what to expect from these guys. They've just been... They're very diverse in the champions that they play and the style that they play, so we could see anything, but I'm hoping for something explosive as well.
We could, but, like you said, ADCs have wave clear, and I think these guys have caught on pretty well, because 5 ADCs have actually been banned. Kalista, Kindred, Lucian, Cade, and Quinn, all out. And the only other ban that's not an ADC, but is still really strong that I was touching on earlier, is Brand. Because Brand...
Right.
Yeah, well, Brand with Thunderlords, Brand with Deathfire Touch, either of those two, absolutely amazing. So, Brand's also out of this one, because you can even start Spell Thieves, isn't it? And or Frostfangs, the second level. And you can just completely poke people out with your burn before anything else even happens. But, all of that is out of the way. We're going to be going into Champ Select right now. Let's take a look at what these guys pick.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, melee versus melee. Is this going to happen?
Oh, I really, really hope that it does. Jarvan is excellent. Obviously, we're starting at level 3, so he's going to have his combo up just from the start of the game.
This is so unfortunate, because Oven is actually a huge fan of Jarvan, and just as he jumps out, the very first Jarvan game that I'm going to cast happens. So, bad luck to you, buddy. But,
it is going to be locked in, too. So.
Yeah, wow, it's a lock-in for Jarvan, so it's definitely going to happen. All we need to see is what the retaliation is. It's going to be a
Vel'Koz.
Wow, Vel'Koz, very immobile going into a Jarvan who can jump on your face and all in you. What do you reckon about this matchup?
Well, Vel'Koz obviously doesn't have the flash that he would normally have in standard 5v5 games, so it's going to cause even more issues. But I think if he can wave clear faster than Jarvan, because Jarvan obviously has to use his combo for wave clear if he wants any. If he can stay back, if he can farm up the minions, then we might see him take a win. But if Jarvan gets onto him, I think it's just going to be completely over, because he has decided to not go for the exhaust, which is a very interesting choice.
Oh, that's a bit unfortunate there. I would love to see how this turns out. But as we've seen earlier today, ranged champions have the advantage in the sense that they can go for one of the 2 different win conditions. Obviously, there are 3. You can either kill your enemy, get 100 CS, or take the turret. But taking the turret is extremely unfeasible in this sort of game mode. The only real champion who can do that is Tristana, and I don't know if you want to hedge your bets picking Tristana in this sort of game mode. So the only 2 real plausible ways to win this game is 100 CS or to kill your opponent. Ranged champions can do either, but melee champions really have to lock themselves into killing the enemy. It will be interesting to see if Jarvan goes for any CS at all, given the fact that if you last hit, you're going to be taking some poke. And if you take some poke, that's going to take your health down if you ever want to all in.
Right, and I imagine that he'll be looking towards the Grasp of the Undying in his Keystone Masteries, but in terms of items, is he just going to go all out? Like, are we going to see something crazy like a bunch of longswords, 4 longswords? Or is he going to try and sustain the poke, get a couple pots in there, maybe a Doran shield? Be
The
very
legendary
interesting to see.
4 longsword start. Wasn't available before, is available now, because that equals exactly 1400 gold, which is what you're allowed to
Right.
start with. I would love to see that, because earlier today, all we've really been seeing is Doran spams. I think the only variation that we've seen today, on the stream games at least, is 2 Dorans and a Null Magic Mantle that didn't come out too well, because it was an AD
Okay.
Karma. But yeah, we've just been seeing Doran spams all day long. So yeah, I would actually love to see the 4 longsword, ham start.
Well, on the games that weren't on stream, we actually had something interesting that worked out well in the first round. We had a revolver brand, and
Wow.
that worked out for them. So we might see something crazy.
I was hypothesizing a revolver on the Karma pick. Instead, she went for the triple Doran blade. But revolver just seems like such a good item coming into this game mode, because you got all of that sustain. And at the end of the day, if you're not going to be going all in 100-0, sustain is the name of the game. So it's strange that we haven't seen a revolver yet. But you've seen a revolver. It's happened on the
Right.
brand, and I assumed it worked out fine.
Yeah, the only thing was you would get poked out a little bit early, and your sustain is slightly less than if you were to go rings or something like that, just purely because you don't have the mana regen and you don't have the extra health to soak up damage. But I definitely think that if you're going to be super aggressive, if you're going for the kills, then why not? You don't particularly need the health if you're ranged and you're not going to be in minions, so let's see something ham.
Let us indeed. I mean, Jarvan wants to see something ham. We don't know if Vel'Koz does or not. They want to sit too far back. Yeah, it's going to be fairly easy to predict how this game goes before level 6, but what do you think is going to happen once both of these guys get their ultimates? I mean, how do you think they're going to interact with each other?
I think that provided that we have no flashes and the only dash that we're going to see coming out is obviously Jarvan's EQ, if Jarvan gets onto the Vel'Koz and doesn't have his standard up, doesn't have his dash up, Vel'Koz will probably just E him and get a combo off inside the Jarvan ultimate. So we could honestly see a bit of a flip there if it's not used right, or if the combo's done incorrectly.
That's absolutely
But-
correct, because you could just dump everything into the ultimate. But yes, go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say we have seen a Vamp set come out, which is a very interesting choice.
Yes, sorry, that was the one other build that we saw. Also a Vampiric Scepter and a Doran's. It's just the sustain game, isn't it? And it looks like
Yeah,
Jarvan doesn't want to
definitely.
go all in, because he wants to pick sustain, which is strange, because he picked the melee champion to play the sustain war into a ranged.
Absolutely, and with those 3 Doran's rings, I don't see what sort of burst Jarvan is going to be able to put out early on that's going to push Vel'Koz away.
Vel'Koz
From the
definitely
farm.
has the early game here, but here we go. Here's the ham that we were talking about. Goes all in, gets knocked back a little bit, gets the passive off by Vel'Koz, so it's a little bit of damage back, but in the end Vel'Koz takes a little bit more damage there.
Right, and he wins the trade, Jarvan wins the trade, but he does have 1 pot, so if trades keep going like that, we might actually see Vel'Koz pull ahead.
Has 1 pot, but also has Vampiric Scepter, so
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That's
if you don't take damage, you're just going to be healing it straight back. Like we're seeing, he's already back to a lot of health, but he goes in once again,
Oh my
misses the flag drag though. Manages to get the minion to block the Q from Vel'Koz, but still takes a little bit of damage for his trouble. This is looking quite dire for Vel'Koz, actually. He's taking quite a bit of damage, even from that missed flag drag.
It's very unfortunate. He's not quite able to play around the cooldowns here, so he's just missing farm because he's so scared of that engage.
And, at the end of the day, you can just always force your opponent's hand by picking up a lot of CS, because 100 CS gets you wins. But there we go, another passive proc coming out on the Jarvan. But I think these just need to come out a little bit faster, because if you time them out, like Lord Chicken has in this game, Jarvan has a lot of time to just sustain it back with that Vampiric Scepter, with that Doran's Blaze. He hasn't even popped his
Right.
potion. He's practically on full health. So, that's what I'm talking about.
And we see Vel'Koz being a potion down already, just in order to keep that sustain going. But he is coming slightly back into this. He's pushed himself away from the tower, so he might have a bit more of a chance to get these creeps. But, oh my goodness, such aggressive positioning, and he's going to go in again.
Wow.
The combo misses from Vel'Koz.
Conduct just
And
goes
that's-
in as often
My
as he
goodness.
can, but he's missed 2 out of the 3 so far. So, he's still outputting a lot of damage onto Chicken. Gets a nice cheeky Q there to do a little bit of damage. But, I think you need to hit a bit more of your combos. Once again, missing, but maybe he's just doing it to get closer because his passive still does a lot of damage on Java.
Exactly. And it is percentage health passive, which is very effective against a bunch of Dorans as well. So the damage he's outputting, even when missing his combo, isn't bad at all.
No, yeah, I guess you sort of countered yourself by picking up the Dorans, but what else are you really going to pick up on Vel'Koz? I mean, you have the option to pick
Exactly.
up a Needlessly Large as the first item, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's a pretty fair comment there. I suppose you could go something like, you could sneak a cloth armor or something in there, but the Doran's probably the best, as Jarvan goes in again and is just going to get his passive up.
Wow, Conduct is just not taking any damage back in these trades, but, it's slow. It's a very slow game. I think if these trades just keep on happening the way they do, Conduct is actually going to get the upper hand because he has got the sustain. He hasn't even needed to pop his potion. Still missing,
my
but he
goodness,
actually goes
he's
in
gonna
with
go
the
ahead.
ultimate. Lord Chicken fires everything, gets him out of the Cataclysm, manages to get him down, pops the full life form disintegration ray, and Conduct is low, but not out of the game by any measure.
Oh my goodness.
They're both
And he
so
just
low.
couldn't get the ignite.
They're both so low, but Lord Chicken, pop your potion. Oh, Conduct going in to steal the health relic. Very cheeky play
And that's
there.
going to be massive.
Yeah,
That's
just
gonna
completely
be
denying
absolutely
your
massive.
opponent. I don't quite
Yeah.
understand why Lord Chicken was hesitant to pop his potion there. Should have popped it a little bit earlier so you could contest that, but otherwise, there you go.
Yeah, the great... Oh my goodness. Going to miss the E. Alrighty.
Just going to be farming
And
up a
yeah.
little bit here.
Yeah, the great thing about having potions in combat is it's effective health throughout the course of your potion popping. If you have an engage for 4 seconds, you have an extra 40 health in that engage. So not popping the potion, a bit questionable there, but he doesn't look too unhealthy.
No, exactly. And it's a cookie, so it even has that initial burst of health that could
Right,
potentially
right.
save your life. Or going in there,
Combo's
doesn't
gonna
apply the
miss.
passive. There we go, there's the passive. It's just so much damage, it's just from one auto.
There's the return. Oh, that was a very even trade.
Yeah, as levels go
Oh.
up, Lord Chicken's going to have a lot of extra skill points, and Vel'Koz doesn't really scale with levels. Oh, a nice little cheeky poke going on there, but
The
like I was
geometry.
about to say, geometry's going to win in the game, but, Vel'Koz doesn't really scale with items. His scaling is actually quite poor, but he does scale with levels incredibly well, so, I think if they play the long game, Lord Chicken's got something going on for him, but Conduct is just picking up all of these relics. It looks like he's not even going to take any damage.
And all of this CS as well, just as an AP champion, you do struggle to CS under tower unless you want to spend a bunch of mana on it, like trading mana. As Conduct goes in again,
Well,
he's gonna get a
Conduct
lot of burst
finally
this time.
manages to land his whole thing, and man, Lord Chicken taking half of his health. Nobody's got any potions left, but Conduct does. Oh, actually goes back in with the ultimate, gets knocked up a little bit, flag drags one last time, gets ignited, but he picks up the kill through the ignite. It's not even going to take him anywhere near low. That was an amazing play by Conduct there.
That was.
Let's just watch this game. Let's just watch this replay, sorry. Just a little bit. Sorry to you, Rabbit Rains, because you can't quite see as opposed to our people
That is
at home.
quite alright.
Yeah, but he manages to go in, getting blocked a little bit because game is over, but let's just try and take a look from the corner of our screen. Takes a little bit of damage back, and here's the ultimate. Just turns it around. Barrier comes in, not quite enough. Knocks Conduit up, but he goes back in. Q and E land, and the auto comes in for the kill. Ignites on him, but, game's already over at this point. Nobody, he's just walking off.
And he absolutely proved me wrong on that one as well. He uses the combo to get in and ultimates afterwards, and it's just enough damage. Super ham strategy, super ham victory, I guess.
It's a hybrid. It's not necessarily full ham, which is really strange. And I feel strange just saying this, but it's a hybrid strategy of ham and then sustain. You know what I mean? And it's just so strange because I never thought that I would ever be saying that, and it worked out so well because obviously he won the game. So congratulations there. Will we be seeing Jarvan later in this competition because he's been coming up really strong in the games that he has been played?
Oh, absolutely. I think a lot of the games that we are going to see played for kills, we're going to see stuff like the Jarvan. Definitely these bruisers. We haven't seen too much outside of Jarvan. I know there have actually been quite a few Fiora, been quite a few Darius bans floating around the place, but we could see something crazy. We could see top lane. We could pretty much see top lane in the finals. Who knows at this point?
Top lane in the mid lane. We saw it at Worlds, with Irelia versus Olaf, and hopefully we'll see
That's
it
true.
again here in 1v1s. I mean, top laners are not bad. I am a bit disappointed that the top laners that have played haven't taken Mark. I think that Mark has great potential in this game. But
Right, I agree. And I think that opens you up to such crazy ham picks. You get an Olaf out there, you can get, a Tahm Kench out there. Who knows, really, what these guys could do if they were taking Mark.
yeah, and if you just get in close to somebody, especially like an Olaf, you can just throw your axe over and over. And I don't think there's much counterplay to it because nobody's taking flash, so nobody can really escape you after the first one lands.
Yeah, absolutely. But guys, we're going to try and get into our next game, so I'm going to take my leave, and we're going to have another co-caster jump in. Thank you very much, Jimmy. I quite enjoyed this.
Hey, I enjoyed it as well. Any game with the Jarvan I enjoy, and I definitely enjoy casting with you. So thank you very much, Rabbit Reigns. I think we're going to get
Thank you.
Ben, who is Zarmiga, in here. So let's see if I can drag him. He outranks me, but I have the power. Let's take a look.
Alrighty, thanks
User
guys.
was moved to your channel.
There we
User
go.
left your channel.
Ben, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
There we go. I jumped him, but he's prepared. That's the sort of guy that I
Alright.
like. Alrighty. Let's jump into game right now. Oh, here we go. Got invited. Spectate. Shouldn't be too
Yep,
long. What have you made of this tournament so far, Ben?
It's been pretty good. It's been going pretty quick, which is good. Most of the time you don't see tournaments go this quick, to be honest.
Well, hey, it's 1v1, so what do you really expect? I think we were talking about this a little bit earlier. It's either games go super quick because people go ham at that level 3 mark, or it just drags out forever. And these games have been symbolic of what we were expecting. So, hey, it means that we know something about the game, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's been really good seeing a lot of Caitlyn, because we did predict that. Alistair picks at the beginning. At the very beginning of this tournament, there were 2 Alistair picks.
I remember
First
that, yeah.
round.
Alistair, and they were both like full AP. It's not standard Alistair, they just wanted to do all of the damage, all of the hammer. It's like Malphite, but you get it immediately.
It's pretty cheese. Pretty cheese.
I loved watching it. So, do you have any picks or bands that you really want to see coming into the later bit of this tournament coming in?
I want to see Zed. I want to see Zed. I know it's so... I just want to see a just clean 100% fight, Not a slow fight. I like the clean, quick, crazy fights. So
I
that
do
would be
as
nice
well.
to see.
And Oven, who I was casting with earlier, he despises them. He just wants to see the very methodical, very mathematical games. And Rabbit Range just said he loves those as well. No, but I think both of us are on the same page. We just want to see those really quick ham games.
Yeah.
So speaking of really quick, these bans are coming out really quick. 4 ADC bans so far. Quinn, Kindred, Caitlyn, and Lucian. You're not going to be seeing that Caitlyn this game. But MF is also being banned as well, on top of all of those things. I think it's pretty standard to see all of these ADC bans. People are catching on to the fact that Caitlyn's quite OP. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I would agree. There's a high chance there's going to be some melee champions in this game because of these bans. I'm not sure what we're going to see. It could be... What have we been seeing? We saw some Jarvan last game. We saw... what else have we been seeing today? We saw some Riven. Riven could be in this game.
Yes, that
would
Riven.
be quite cool.
Riven is so mechanically challenging, so to see that in 1v1, especially when you don't need to worry about external factors like ganks, like map pressure, you can just concentrate on your mechanics, and it's just a heaven for Riven mains.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just excited to see this game, to be honest.
Or Vayne coming out as the last ban. I'm not too sure that Vayne has ever been too strong in 1v1s. Not because she's not a good duelist. I think she's one of the best duelists. I still hold, in my regards, Trundle as the #1 best duelist. But Vayne, she takes time to scale up. She needs levels and she needs items, neither of which you can really get in 1v1s.
Yeah, there's been a few Vayne bans in this tournament. I kind of agree. I feel like, yeah, she takes a bit to actually get into it. It makes sense as a last ban because all these other ADCs have been banned with the range advantage, so I guess it makes sense, yeah.
I guess
Unless
it does.
people
Wow,
don't pick it.
Alawi. I haven't seen Alawi at all in this tournament.
Alawi,
Neither ban nor
talking about
picked.
this.
Oh no! Goes off the
Poppy and
Alawi.
Teemo. Oh my god, he's trolling us right now. There's no way he's picking Teemo.
I want to see the
can't
Poppy
be.
though. Poppy goes
I
really
wanna see
well into
Poppy.
1v1.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Especially
Poppy-
with her new passive, she can range farm, she can range poke. She has, I mean, it just covers her for laning phase, and a lot of this is laning phase until you go ham.
The new Poppy is just fun. She's fun to watch. She's fun to play. It would be great to see her this game.
And it's one of the rare things that Riot have done. She's also fun to play against.
yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah. They don't normally do that. They normally as soon as a champion gets changed, you want to nerf them. So, yeah. Teemo.
It's a strong hover. It's a
Yeah.
lock-in actually.
Is he gonna lock this in? Is it? No, he can't be.
Oh,
He
come
can't-
on. We got 10 seconds left. I mean, anything's still on the board, technically. I mean, they could just be trolling, but...
He's definitely last second. He's gonna change this.
He's just
He's
not... No... Oh, oh
He's playing
Poppy and Teemo.
He's playing Teemo.
Oh,
Jimmy,
no.
he's playing Teemo.
How do
What
I...
is this?
How do we cast this? Alright,
Maybe he's on shrooms.
Alright. Let's cast this methodically, okay? First of all, Poppy into Teemo. How does this matchup work? Does the blind stop Poppy passive?
Look, to be honest, I have no idea. This is something I've never seen before. I've
They're both
never
top
seen
laners,
new Poppy.
so hopefully, you know, it should be a matchup that's occurred. But yeah, no, it's a valid point that, you know, we haven't had that much time to take a look at new Poppy. I can only imagine that the blind stops the Poppy passive because
Yeah.
it's an auto attack modifier. Okay, so for the blind, Teemo's got the advantage. For the range, Teemo's got the advantage.
With some attacks as well, but it does hit, like, even if you are blinded. So I'm not actually sure, like, we'll just have to see with this one. This is... Yeah.
It's all up, you know, it's in the air.
yeah. I'm just gonna have to see with this one. I normally... Because some, you know how some attacks, like if you actually activate the ability, sometimes the ability part of it hits, but the auto attack part doesn't.
Such as
There are-
Jax's Empower and Nasus's Siphoning Strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are some that go through, but I'm not actually sure with this one.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct there. But second of all, okay, so that was the first thing, looking at the actual champion matchup. And before I move on, actually, let's take a look. Another one of Poppy's main deals is she stops dashes. But, you know, Teemo doesn't really have dashes, so that part's completely...
Yeah.
Yeah, that part's just out of the window, you know, it's just irrelevant for Poppy.
Yeah, it's. I need to watch more Poppy, but this is honestly, I think this is just going to be an exciting match because Teemo, for one, like I just did not expect to see a Teemo in this tournament. Poppy, I kind of did, but Teemo just left wing, nowhere, never seen it before.
No, yeah,
Never seen it coming.
just did not
Especially in the
expect it.
semi.
Especially in the semi.
Semi-final.
Well, here's the deal, okay? Let's talk about level 6s with these two champions. Poppy can only use her level 6 as damage because, you know, in the standard Summoner's Rift 5v5, she can use it to kick one person out of a fight, but now you kick Teemo out, you just wait until he comes back, and then it's just the fight as normal, so you can only really use it for damage. With Teemo, though, your shrooms just offer you so much dominance over the game, and if you sit on enough shrooms for long enough, then you can just shroom out pretty much every single exit that Poppy has. And she only has one choice to run at you, and that's directly through the minions.
I think the advantage is actually towards Teemo.
So first you were
feel like
critiquing
keeping
Teemo,
high.
and now you're on Team Teemo?
I'm on Team Teemo, but it's just I didn't see it coming. It is so crazy, you know. It's not something you expect to see in a semi-final. It's definitely not. It's something you joke about at LCS, you know, like, oh, they're hovering over Teemo, the crowd goes wild.
Definitely gonna pick
it's
Teemo in LCS.
exactly, right? It's it's nuts.
Well, we will be
think-
going into loading screen. Something that Oven was touching on earlier in loading screen, because we need to analyze every single part of this game, is skins equal wins. Do you reckon so?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah? You're on that track?
I think it does. It shows a bit of mastery, even if you have no mastery. It's just you also have a wallet, so that's pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah, you have a wallet means that you have
means-
skill, right?
It means you're eating well. You know, you're getting the right minerals for your brain. You know, you're gonna succeed in life. You're doing
I
well.
swear the correct terminology was vitamins, not minerals, but you know they go hand in hand.
Minerals. They're eating minerals. Eating rocks. If only it was Malphite.
Oh, yeah, that would actually be a pretty nice pick into Teemo, though, although the armor doesn't do much.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking Malphite was going to actually be a pick at least once in this tournament, but I haven't seen it, sadly.
Really? Why is that? Because, as we were talking about earlier, Alistar is practically a Malphite that has access to the combo at level 3.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't even thinking Alistar was going to get played. But, you know, I thought about it as soon as he got picked. He deals with AD pretty well because he's so tanky. He doesn't take damage. He just deals it. That's pretty much how I think of Alistar. You just hit the combo and run away.
Oh,
Or you just keep fighting.
Here we go. Let's take a look at these items, though. Boots coming
Yeah.
out for Poppy.
So you got a bit of a hybrid build on Teemo as well.
I think
Guess
this
for
is...
the bonus.
Yeah, I mean, you want the health, you want the mana. I guess it's just all-round goodness. But Gimp, please, standing in the second bush. I actually think this is quite dangerous. I mean, luckily for him, it's not dangerous, but he got in there
Yeah,
a little
if
bit late.
Teemo
So if
was in
Teemo
there.
was in there, you wouldn't even know because he's invis, and he can move around as well with his new passive, and you still wouldn't know that he was there. There
Oh
we go.
no.
Stealth.
Is he gonna just stand here and wait, or...
Oh,
Oh, the cheeky hit.
the first bit of damage going over to Poppy. It's down. The gauntlet's thrown.
Are they just gonna stand here during the beginning, or...?
Well,
No
you know,
one's
it's,
fed the
yeah,
players
it's
either.
in Teemo's advantage to stand there. Yeah, I'm actually
yeah.
really disappointed. None of these guys are feeding the porros. Come on, you guys are well fed. You know, eating your minerals,
Yeah.
eating your rocks. But you know, give the porros a chance. A little bit of damage
Oh,
coming
it's
out
action straight away.
from Gimp. Puts up the shield. Mitigates a lot of the damage coming out from Teemo. That trade actually went in advantage of Gimp, please, but he had to use half of his mana pool just to do it.
Yeah, the mana issue is gonna be there. I'm not sure if Gimp's gonna be able to do consistent damage against Teemo.
Oh wow!
But-
Once again, trading. You know, he's still doing damage, and I actually
And
had
he's
the
got
full.
potion advantage.
He's
Yeah.
got potion advantage, so he's got all of that good stuff coming out. Sphincter Muffin, though, has Grasp of the Undying, so
Oh,
he does manage
Oh,
to
this is
stay.
not looking
Oh,
good.
the exhaust comes out just to reduce damage, to reduce movement speed as well. Gimp please gets out, but he's one summoner down.
it's quite a scary match at the same time, because you know how Gimp has to play it. He has the 100% Teemo. He cannot duel with him. He has to just finish it straight away. And
Exactly. Oh, just
I think-
taking all that poke. You know, the little things add
Yeah.
up. That little poke's gonna add up in the long run.
I think what Gimp's gonna have to do is kind of miss a bit of CS, because what does CS actually do for you? If you get
Exactly.
100, you win. He's gonna just have to miss CS and wait till he has the opportunity to 100% Teemo. He can't fight clean till then.
No, exactly, because you can't go back, so, you know, that's a difference in game mode, as opposed to the
Yeah.
normal 1v1s. You can't go back in this, so unless you're going for the CS victory, CS doesn't do a whole lot for you. I think none of these games so far, picking up the
Oh.
Relic, actually puts a little bit of damage back on the Sphincter Muffin. Sphincter Muffin takes
and the tower
a turret hit,
hit. Oh,
and
this
that's
is- oh,
Gimp,
the exhaust.
please.
Yeah.
But, you know, he decides to back off.
Oh,
Oh, Sphincter Muffin takes it up, but you can't back out. You can't back out as melee versus range, because once you're in for good. And
You
if you
gotta
back
commit.
out,
Yeah.
they're just gonna get 2 to 3 autos on you. And you know, they might not kill you, but they're gonna do all the damage onto you, and that's, you know, just as bad. So I'm going to replay this a little bit. Unfortunately for you, Ben, you're not going to be able to see this, and for the
that's alright.
yeah, for the people at home, you won't be able to see much of this because the game over screen is in the middle. But, you know, I'll try and catch it on the top half of the screen, so hopefully we won't miss too much. Just standard farming here, but if we take a look, Gimp, please, he decides to move in right now, puts up the dash shield, puts down the damage, does a lot of damage down to the Sphincter Muffin. He takes a turret shot right there, and that is Gimp Please's sign to go in. But the barrier comes out, not taking any damage, and Gimp Please decides to run back there. And that is what seals his fate. You can't run back in a 1v1, like we said, especially not melee.
He actually looked like he could have won that. He was... I actually thought Gimp had it for a minute then. I was like, oh, he did it. He waited till the right time, but, you know, that second of hesitation just lost him the whole game.
You can't hesitate in 1v1s. It's all about mechanics. It's not about map awareness.
Yeah, that's it. I think the next match we'll be doing is the bronze match.
Yep.
So that'll be you know, the third place, I got bronze battle.
Not I'm ranked bronze.
I'm bronze.
So to clear up any confusion there.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, that was a really nice game to watch. I'm not gonna lie. It was I thought Teemo had the advantage. Poppy came out there, you know what I mean? Wasn't expecting Poppy to do so well against Teemo after a bit.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, she didn't win, which is what we expected, but she put out a much bigger fight than we ever expected.
Yeah. I thought she was just going to get stomped on because of the kiting ability of Teemo, and you know what can she actually do against Teemo that gives her an advantage? Almost nothing.
There's only one champ who I would really, you know, even consider putting my bets on in a melee versus range matchup, and that would be Renekton, you know.
Yeah, that's it. And we did see a Renekton today, so there's no reason why it couldn't get played. I wonder if they're starting up.
Right. Yeah, so just go and check that up. We will be going into the bronze game, like you said, right? Between Lord Chicken 666 and Gimp Please. So that should be set up fairly soon.
Mm-hmm.
Just waiting a little bit for this game to start up. Any expectations coming into this? Because we've seen both of these players progress through for the whole tournament.
Yeah, well, you know, I would love to see Gimp again after that game. Sadly, I haven't seen much of Chick and Lord. But, you know, they're both semi-finalists. I'm sure they're going to make aggressive plays, and it's going to be fun to watch. That's all I want. That's all I want from this game.
You just want to see the intense plays. You want to be able to pick up some notes, you know, for your solo queue to say, wow, I could do that.
That's it.
Yeah, when they dive me,
wow, those mechanics.
Just waiting a little bit. Hopefully the bands should be coming out soon.
Mm-hmm.
Time to bring out the bad boy.
The bad boys.
I wonder what that means. I just have no idea how to interpret that. Who's a bad boy in League? Yeah, I'm trying to think. I haven't got anybody off the top of my mind.
Is Draven a bad boy?
Oh, it might well be Draven. We saw Bjergsen, was it? Take out the Draven in 1v1 in All Stars, and he won that. Well, he just outright won. So
I think Draven's makes sense as a pick, as long as you're not versing someone with knock. So yeah.
Or he picked it into a Varus, and he still managed to win anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, Teemo would be the hardest counter. Quinn would also be a nice counter to Draven, though.
Oh, Quinn would be good too.
Yeah.
Probably going to get banned. But...
the baddest boy.
The baddest boy.
Wonder who that is.
Who is the baddest boy? Is it going to be Veigar?
Yeah, it could well be.
That would make sense.
He's
right?
not bad, he's evil.
He's evil, but he's bad. He does evil bad things. Like magic. And he 100% his enemy without even trying.
Here we go. First band coming out, Caitlyn.
Pretty standard.
Yes.
Not many people like versing Caitlyn.
No, nobody likes versing Caitlyn. Nobody likes playing Caitlyn. It's a fairly boring
Maokai.
playstyle 1v1. Maokai, wow. The all-in. You don't want to get all-in because, you know, Maokai's ultimate, it does protect him from pretty much all the damage that you're outputting. So Don't want to verse that. Obviously, Teemo, watching the previous game, knowing Teemo's
Yeah.
a bit too OP.
Too hard to deal with.
Yeah, verse the Teemo, didn't like the Teemo, doesn't want to verse the Teemo again.
Maybe he wants to play Poppy again.
Maybe he does. Brand and Quinn coming out. So, Quinn, mandatory ban. Oh, Kate.
Quinn? Wait,
Already done.
Kate's
Already
banned.
done. Already done. But, Brand. Brand is super strong right now.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good win rate. It's above 50% by a fair bit, I know that. And he's got a pretty high pick rate as well. So, to be honest, it's not that bad for, yeah.
Poppy.
Sorry, Soda. Poppy.
Oh no! Gimp Please's Poppy is banned out for this game.
Oh,
That
no.
is so devastating. Oh
What are we
no! I'm upset because I was looking forward to Gimp Please playing Poppy.
I liked watching Poppy.
Yeah, his
Yeah,
Poppy
so
is
yeah.
super strong.
He's pretty good at it, right?
Yeah.
All
Here
right,
we go.
here
Let's
we go.
let's see what these guys pick. Hopefully they're not
Fresh.
yeah, they're not ghosting each other. Hopefully. But as we're watching, Gimp Please is hovering over the Thresh right now.
AD fresh, are we thinking?
Yeah, AD Thresh, your E scales off your AD and does magic damage. Pretty good champ. Nami, Lulu. I think we're going to get
Lulu,
trolled around a
now.
little bit. Whoa, the
Lulu
lock-in.
makes
He doesn't
sense,
even
actually.
care.
Yeah.
He's just Lulu.
Yeah, Lulu makes a lot of sense actually. AD or AP, it's a hybrid build where you don't really know what you're versing.
More
Did
chicken.
you see a Galio for a
Yeah,
sec there?
my heart skipped a beat when I saw the Galio. That would be a really great pick into Lulu.
Well, I'd be surprised if Bard. Oh.
Oh, wow.
versus
Bard?
Lulu.
And it's also
Oh,
the
wow.
sustain. Take a look. It's heal and it's barrier, and he's got his relic shrines, his own relic shrines above the actual
Yeah.
relic shrines.
So, do you think he's going to be going for 100 farm? Is that what you think he's going to be doing this game, or?
So here's the deal. Previously, he's played Karma, and he's done the same tactic on Karma where he goes, heal and barrier, and he either has a heal of his own or for Karma he has his shield. He obviously has his heal and his Mantra Q, but Mantra W, but didn't really Mantra W. Here's the deal. Once you see something like this, once you see a heal and a barrier and a Bard who heals himself, you're seeing the 100 CS. So what 100 CS shows to your enemy is that they must fight you. Because if they don't, then they're going to lose the 100 CS war. Having said that though, Lulu can also 100 CS and sustain herself very well.
Yeah, it could go either way with CSing. They could just both try and farm to 100, and then they're both in a position where they have to fight. So it might become to a point where they get, they both get to 80 CS, and they're both under pressure. They want to push themselves, and then they have to fight. So that honestly, that would be a nice kind of tension kind of game to have.
It would be, you build it all up and then you see the intense fight with the Bard going all in.
Yeah.
I would
wouldn't mind
love to
watching
see
that.
Yeah, I would love to see that, but here's the problem, okay? In the whole tournament today, we haven't really seen an emphasis on the CS victory. We haven't seen an emphasis on the tower victory either, but it's very rare in any 1v1, no matter what elo you're playing at, even at All Stars, that you go for the turret victory, because it's just so unfeasible unless you're playing Tristana. And then again, are you really going to pick Tristana in a 1v1? So there's all of that out the window. So I haven't actually seen the 100 CS condition come out too far in this game. I think the highest CS that we reached was around 40, which wasn't too high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to see. I think it will be a 1v1 first blood kill, but it is possible with this matchup it could be 100 CS. Lulu, it's going to be... Most of the time Lulu plays reactively, and so... Well, Bard's a bit aggressive as well, so... We'll have to see. This is going to be a hard one.
Both of them
Hard
can
one to
sustain.
call.
Yeah, both of them can sustain, but
Yeah.
Lulu has the advantage in the summoner spells, I am willing to say, because they're more aggressive. So if need be, if she has that switch in her mind where she says, nope, I need to go in, I need to win this because Bard's
time
farming
to
up too
finish
well.
it.
He has
Yeah.
the option to with Exhaust or with Ignite, but Bard doesn't really. All he really has with this is saying, okay, I can choose to not die.
Yeah.
So I think
Alright.
Lord Chicken is going to go for the CS victory because he doesn't really have too much of another choice.
I'm not sure with Bard as well, right? Like, Bard can be anything. He can be aggressive. He can be defensive. He can troll himself. He can do anything.
He can ult himself.
It depends on the day, to be honest.
He can even ult. Here's a flashy play: ult the enemy turret and then tower dive to Lulu for the first blood.
Oh, well, that would be pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
There you go. Thinking outside the Bard box. But
Bard doesn't have a box.
skins equal wins if you believe in Oven. Lulu, Dragon Trainer Lulu going out to standard Bard.
And that's a big skin. That's not just, any skin. That's the skin for Lulu.
Yeah, you have.
Although some people like Cupcake.
It shows you that you have money. It shows that you ain't starving. You're eating your minerals.
He is eating. He's eating his minerals.
Here we go.
Bard
Item
sadly
stats.
has no minerals.
Let's take a look at these items. Not minerals. Not these
So,
cookies.
AD Bard.
They're both going AD, but Lulu actually opted to get boots instead of an extra Dorans. What do you make of that?
Huh. So she has the potion advantage, but I feel like straight up damage is gonna win this game.
Yeah,
I feel like
exactly.
Bard's
I
gone
have
for
to.
the right kind of build.
I have to agree. And Gimp, please, in the past, taking a look at these tournaments, taking a look at this tournament, he has exploited the use of his
Bard.
boots. So yeah, no. Oh, delays a bit of time. Gonna miss out on a CS there, by
Yeah.
by sort of just sidestepping his own heals, but shouldn't be too bad.
Apparently, the other person can't see some stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, we should be in now. There we go. Don't worry, you haven't missed out too much. Except for Bard just taking a lot of poke.
Yeah, Lulu's just trading and zoning him out, and that's a surprise with the build. It's yeah.
Is this going to be the story of this game, where Bard just takes damage and then doesn't take damage?
I'm pretty sure that's how it's gonna go.
Because here's the deal. I know Bard pretty well, and I know that the majority of Bard's damage comes from his passive, but his passive is also AoE, so I don't know how effective it's going to be in a 1v1.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think it's gonna work too well because Bard's already out the door for the CS advantage. Because Lulu is not missing CS. She's missing a few, but this is already at almost 10 CS up.
This is
Gonna
just
be
painful to watch for Lord Chicken because he's down on CS and he also doesn't have what it looks like anywhere near the advantage in terms of if he wants to kill Gimp, please, as opposed to the opposite. Yeah.
He's just gonna. He has to wait for the perfect opportunity, but that's really hard with Bard on this map, in this situation, because he's by himself.
Q coming out from Lord Chicken. The damage just seems to be really overwhelming as opposed to Gimp, please. Gimp, please camps the relic
And he has-
coming up. And
He
actually
is
makes
down
it.
a Doran's Blade, and he's doing more damage.
He's down to Doran's Blade, but you got to consider this. Lulu has more damage in terms of just what her kit can offer. Bard has an E. I'm not too sure if he's even ranked his E. No, he just chose to ignore his E, which is legitimate. I mean, there's not too much you can pass through on this map, but, you're just a whole spell down at this point.
Uh-huh. So we're at level 6 on both champions.
We got our ults out, we got Lulu, which is don't die, and we got Bard, which is I can either stop you, stop me, or stop the turret.
Just everything stops.
You get a Zhonya's, everybody gets a Zhonya's, except for you get Ohm Wrecker. The good old days of Ohm Wrecker.
Oh my, that used to be a fun item. That was,
It was
why
so
did they
edge
remove it?
case, but I loved it.
I think Ohm Wrecker with the Void Rock Portal. That'd be pretty fun.
Oh yeah,
just
you just
build
got
up
all of
massive-
your minions, you know, running into the turret that doesn't do anything against them.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
those were the days.
Yeah. That's what I want to see more from Riot. Just stuff that's stupid.
Stuff
Like,
that's stupid for sieging.
Yeah.
And like, it can't be a sensible siege item, it has to be a stupid siege item.
Yeah.
Did you
So,
ever exploit ZZ Rock Portal back in the day?
Yeah, we did it in the last tournament.
Did you?
We set up a 5-man ZZ Rock Portal to win the game.
Oh, wow. I'm not actually talking
Yeah.
about that. I'm talking about the good old days of when it was first released and nobody knew. But it scaled off your armor and magic resist. So practically you put one down and then you'd AFK. Because when you go back to base and you're AFK, you get about 1,000 armor and magic resist. And then you're...
Didn't know about that. That's
yeah,
pretty
and
cool.
people just put one
That's
down and
cool.
AFK'd and it took down the turret. But Lord Chicken, speaking of being taken
Oh
down,
my God.
is being taken down mortally low. Take a look at that. The Thunderlord's coming out, but he's sitting on about 100 health. We'll pick up the Relic Shrine to get to about 200, but that's still too low to be contested.
He's gonna have to be like his name. He's gonna have to follow his name here. Be a chicken. Be the Lord of Chickens.
I mean,
Wait
even
till
if he
that
didn't want to,
opportunity.
he doesn't have a choice, you know? You can't really fight this.
Yeah. Gonna have to have good positioning. Well, CS, you can't win CS. There's
Oh, you were talking about
advantage
good
to CS.
positioning, just took a poke from the Glitter Lance. That was Lulu.
Yeah. And Lulu's just controlling the map here. It's gonna be hard for him to get back in. There is a possibility. If he can get his health back up, wait for Lulu to make a mistake under the tower, and yeah, that's what he's gonna have to do. He might even use his ult to say, no, he's done. He's just finished.
Oh
himself.
yeah, that's suicide. He got,
Oh,
oh
did he-
no! Oh
Yeah.
wow! It's just inevitable.
That was quite fun.
That's how it goes. So let's watch that over again. Unfortunately for Ben, you will not be able to see this. I think I rewinded this a
Oh.
little bit too far. But yep. All right. Let's take a look at this. Gimp is looking to zone out Lord Chicken, and he does that quite effectively. Lord Chicken comes back. Gets taken really low because of the crossfire, and there we go. That's the suicide button. You really suicided yourself there. Gimp, please. His ultimate came out a little bit too early. Tries to do the barrier bait, but it's too little too late because the Glitter Lance takes him out. Gimp, please, just walks off safely, takes the victory for himself. So there we go.
Yeah, and I guess Lord Chicken didn't have a lot of choice. The tower was going to go down. The tower was maybe at 40% HP, if I remember. So he could have waited a little bit more health, but there wasn't much chance of him actually winning that game after the beginning point. But Bard was picked.
Bard was picked. A little bit
Yeah.
underwhelming though. I wanted to see the Karma again because the Karma was quite good.
Oh yeah, Karma's fun too. Yeah.
Unfortunately there, Bard not quite doing as well as his signature Karma, but that will come out to be a nice little third place victory for Gimp, please.
We're gonna make a little bronze medal for him.
Oh yes.
We
Yeah.
could get a new account, get it into Bronze 5, and give that to him as a prize.
Yeah, here's your bronze medal.
Yeah. Put it up on your mantle.
Yeah, he definitely won't
Yep.
be annoyed by that. You know, he'd be honored because we gave it to him.
Yeah, like, it's pretty hard to level account to level 30 and, like, get it into bronze. Like,
It's so
You gotta-
hard. Like, I try, but sometimes I just win by accident.
yeah, whoops, the team carried me. In a 3v2. Some games are like that in bronze, I shouldn't joke about it.
Oh man, I think you just like traumatized a whole lot of viewers who know the situation too well. But you know, we are just
Yeah.
waiting for the last game to come up. This is, of course, the finals that I am talking
The
about.
final.
The finals. We need to say it in a really deep voice. The finals of CLoLS 1v1 tournament run today
2015.
of 2015.
December 20. This summer.
2015.
Excitement, explosions.
Calm down, we haven't hired Michael Bay, but anyway, it is still very explosive in terms of all the burst damage that's come out so far.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see what's going to be played. Like Caitlyn's probably going to be banned.
Almost
I would
certainly
ban Kino.
Caitlyn's going to be banned. I want to see a brand. I really do want to see a
A
brand.
brand.
I honestly do. Because he's just so strong right now with all the masteries and with spell things, even Frostfang right now.
Yeah.
Mm.
I also want to say this. This is a Wiggity Swag player in the final versus CCG player. So
Wow, a little bit of pride coming off here.
yeah. I'm a bit excited for this.
A little bit
Oh,
of tension
man.
going on. You reckon we should take
I wonder what.
You reckon we should take a little bit of a break as we take a look at what's happening? It is the finals after all, so for everybody out there, stay hydrated. It's a very hot day, so get yourself a cool glass of water. If you're somewhere in Canberra, I think it's a little bit too late now, but you can still rock up to Reload Bar and Reload Bar.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, you could rock
Yeah.
up. You could taste some cool Sapporo. Hang out with the amazing crowd that I love to immerse myself in. But, for the moment, stay with us, because we're going to come back really soon with the finals of CLoLS 1v1 tournament for 2015.
We'll see you shortly, guys.
Alright guys, welcome back to the finals of CLoLS 1v1 tournament 2015. I am joined once again by Ben, also known as CCG's Amiga. Say hi.
Hello, everyone. How you doing?
How is everybody doing? I hope hydrated first of all, but also excited for this game coming up as we come on to the finals for this 1v1 tournament. This day has gone by so quick, non-stop action.
Yeah, well, we've seen Teemo, we've seen Bard, apparently we've seen Karma, we've seen everything today.
We've even
But
seen
have we seen
Alistair.
everything?
We've seen Alistair, AP.
We've seen two Alistairs. This is nuts, dude.
Who's the imposter and who's the real one?
I don't know. They're both cows, and they're both utterly terrible.
Oh, wow. I think we should
Sorry, I'll
just
stop.
move along from that pun here.
Yeah,
hopefully,
they're utterly terrible.
hopefully the band should be coming in soon. I don't know if these guys are ready to roll. Let's just quickly, wake them up.
Mm-hmm. Kindred.
Kindred is the very first band. Of course Kindred is a band. Kindred is super strong right now. She is crazy. Her numbers are strong. Her kit's strong. I don't think there's anything to say about it. In fact, you just mark your enemy and you're doing percentage damage already.
The only bad thing about Kindred is... Oh no, Kindred's good. I'm thinking about another champion. Kalista. You have no ult.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, is there? But,
Yeah.
okay, we got a few more coming out. Queen Lucian, the standard ADC bands, but here are two really interesting ones, Renekton and Riven.
Yeah.
Wow, coming out. Two melee champions, two high skill melee champions as well.
I'm wondering why he's banning Renekton and Riven. Does he want to play Teemo again? Is this an indicator that he doesn't want to deal with champions that can lock him down and just blow him up?
Well, here's a question. I'm going to ask the top main himself, CCG's Amiga. Does Renekton or Riven counter Teemo?
Yes.
Yes, okay, alright. I was expecting an
Definitely.
elaborate response, but yes, and I mean, succinct is good. If you just know outright that he counters it, then yeah, I'll take that. Yeah?
Yeah, Teemo has a real issue of dealing with, because Renekton's really good because he can actually sustain health really well. If you have your Q with Renekton, if you get 50% rage, you can just sustain health, and when you get that opportunity for that big burst, Renekton can bring the burst of damage and just blow up Teemo. Even if he's blinded, he can just blast that damage out on him. Riven has kind of the same thing. She can just shield whenever he's going to send out burst damage or anything that's going to try and blind. So, yeah, Riven has the same advantage. The damage can't actually affect that champion that much unless it's lots and lots over time, which Teemo can do, but he has no escape. So
That's absolutely right.
You
But to counter that, Lee Sin is also down.
yeah. So, a brand pick.
A brand pick. They listen to me. They listen to my prayers, and I hope
They
they're not
did.
trolling. I sincerely hope that they're not trolling me.
A Kalista.
Or Callista. I was talking about Callista earlier. She really only has two abilities. You can't rank a W because there's nobody you're tethered to do the extra damage. You can't rank your ultimate because you outright just can't use it. But having said that, generally in these games we haven't seen it go long enough for people to fully rank both their Q and their E. So it's still a valid pick.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad pick. Zed. Okay, I could be getting trolled now too.
Oh no.
I think me and you are both getting trolled.
Yeah, I
Zed's a
think
good
we
pick.
are. Yeah, because you were excited with the Zed. The one champ who we said was just the worst to play and to play against Caitlyn. We were playing a 1v1 before this, and I was poking you out, but then Zed, you just all in me, and I died. Zed is just ridiculous on this patch.
That's what Zed does. And you don't have to worry about. Oh my god, he's trolling us. He's gotta be. He's gotta be.
He's listening.
Oh,
He knows.
He knows.
But Caitlyn
Oh,
escaped. Caitlyn went right through the ban phase.
Well, this is. Oh, he's at a disadvantage with that Kalista, I believe. I don't feel like jumping around all over the map is going to make much difference against a sniper rifle.
Whoa. So let me just talk about this for a second. First of all, your passive can block a lot of Caitlyn's Q. And second of all, your passive can block a lot of Caitlyn's cupcakes because you can just jump around them. Not over them because you'll still get hit, but around them.
Yeah.
So Caitlyn, really, the only thing she has going for her is her ultimate and also her auto attacks. Having said that, though, her auto attacks are still Caitlyn's auto attacks. There's nothing much to say about them. At the end of the day, it's 650 range. It's going to hit you every single time you come to last hit. She's there. She's present.
Yeah, I think this is definitely in Caitlyn's favor, just because of range. It's dodging. You can jump around like unless Callista can get in and just get those hits in without taking too much trade before it. I think Caitlyn has a distinct advantage in this game.
Yes,
I'm surprised she got free picks and bans.
Me too. I think they just must have not read it properly, because surely you would ban Caitlyn, especially over a Lee Sin. Here's something that we saw earlier in this tournament regarding Caitlyn that we didn't really touch on because I guess we didn't really expect it to happen, but Caitlyn's ultimate, it forces a type of playstyle out of you. It means after level 6, if you go in for a trade, you need it has to be all or nothing, because if you choose to go in for a trade and then leave, she's going to ult you, and if that doesn't kill you, then it's going to take you mortally low. So you need to go in, and it has to be all or nothing, because if you don't, then you enable Caitlyn to use her ultimate. And we forgot to touch on that in the Caitlyn vs Renekton matchup. Sorry, I forgot the two players who played that. But Renekton ult in, and then he dashed out.
I
and
remember.
Caitlyn just ulted that, and it was all over at that point. As soon as he walked away, it was all over.
Yeah, I think that game was CCG Toxic versus Jessie Bay, I believe, if I'm correct.
Yes, you are correct, yes.
Yeah. No, and that it was good to see Renekton as well. He can deal with Caitlyn as well, because that double dash in, and then stun and then burst down. But yeah, we'll go back to this game, I guess.
Well, we'll go back in 1 minute, so you have time to elaborate if you want to.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think this game, it's going to be really, really hard for Callista to win this game. If she can stay at that range where she can farm and not get poked out by Caitlyn, she might be able to do this. But actually, maybe because what Caitlyn normally does is she'll CS and she'll try to zone her opponent out. But that might be Callista's opening, actually. She might be able to, as soon as she tries to zone, that might be Callista's opportunity to move in and try and get that burst damage onto Caitlyn. I think that's her best bet of winning this game.
Yeah, I think that's quite legitimate, and even though Caitlyn can net back, Callista can always chase that. Having said that, though, one of Callista's core items, a Rune's Hurricane, can't be built in this game, because like we said, the standard rules, in case anybody has forgotten, is first CS or no, sorry, what is it? No, I'm not even talking about the correct rules. I'm talking about the 1400 gold. And I'm talking about no backs, and also level 3 starts. So you cannot have a Runans in this game, and if you can't have a Runans, that actually hurts Callista quite a bit, because a lot of her trade just relies on her putting a few spears into an enemy opponent, and then rending them, because you also have some spears in minions, and because the rend kills the minions, it resets your rend, so then you can get some more spears on. But because when she rends, she either has to kill or she doesn't kill. She can't put any more spears down, so she loses a whole lot of her damage if she chooses to rend before killing.
Yeah, and it's also going to be interesting to see if Callista buys boots early this game, because the big thing about boots on Callista is not move speed, but the higher your boots are upgraded, the larger your jump is. So if you have, say, normal boots, you have a larger jump distance than you would without boots. So we'll see if Callista goes to Dorans and boots and potions rather than triple Dorans and potions.
That's actually a really good point that you brought up.
Yeah. I actually am not sure she's gonna. Not many people know that, but if she does that, all the more to her, right?
Yeah, all the more to her. There we go. Black Spear. You want to analyze that?
Well, it's one of the items that you can do nothing with.
Yeah, doing nothing. Oh, here we go. This caught us completely off guard. In fact, I didn't expect either of this.
And Vampiric Scepter.
Yeah, the Doran Shield and the Vampiric. How's this going to work out?
I think Callista's gone for the... Well, she just ran straight into that trap. She's gone for the Vampiric Scepter for the... That was a pretty massive trade.
Yeah, that's going to give Caitlyn a huge advantage in this game. That's
Yeah.
definitely what you don't want.
Because players can't go back here, so you know, Conduit's really just going to be sitting on this health. I mean, he's going to be sitting on higher health, but he also hasn't got a potion. Hopefully, if they just manage to farm this out, then Conduct can get a little bit of health back with that Vampiric and that Doran.
Yeah.
But if they don't manage to do that, then Sphincter Muffin just has all of the advantage here.
Yeah, he's definitely got the advantage. I think the Doran's shield made a lot of sense, especially versus Callista, because he's gonna have the resistance. He'll have that little bit of regen. Because the way Callista has to play this is he has to get in there, burst him down. He can't. He's not going to be able to slowly wither him down.
Yes, that's correct. Especially seeing as Caitlyn has Grasp of the Undying. You don't have an opportunity.
Yeah. So that wasn't too bad of a trade, because he's actually brought Caitlyn down to almost no mana. But he's got no vision in the bush.
Yes, and this is what happens with Callista. If you lose vision, which is what brushes often do, then your auto attack actually fizzles. So what that means is it just outright cancels. It doesn't hit. So Sphincter Muffin used that a couple of times, dodged out 2 auto attacks there, which is quite strong coming out to Conduct.
Oh, it's a really, really worrying when he's walking right by that bush with that trap in it. Because as soon as he gets hit by it, he might lose this game.
You're correct, and the more I look at this, the more I like the Doran shield coming out of Sphincter Muffin, because everything that Callista does is single target. Literally everything.
Yeah,
you know, your auto, your Q, your auto's a single target. Your Q is going to be single target if it doesn't go through. Even if it goes through, I think it still counts as single target.
Yeah.
Your E is single target.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that each time you pull, each individual spear that you pull out counts as individual damage. So it just lowers every single spear. The more I think about this, the more I like it.
It makes sense. Actually, and I think the Vampire Scepter wasn't too bad for Callista as well. Because he kind of has to sustain somehow.
Oh, here we go. The major fight is coming out. All of the summoner spells being used. Nobody has any more summoners. There's not going to be a kill, but Conduct taken low. Sphincter Muffin also very low, but the trap zones Conduct out, so Sphincter Muffin can just run back at his leisure, at his whim, and just take his whenever he's ready for it. You know, they're both on fairly high health, but Sphincter Muffin doesn't actually want to go back to take his, because then he gives Conduct enough time to last hit. And when Conduct last hits, he also gets health back.
I'm actually looking at this Vampiric Scepter. It's starting to do its effect. Like, it's actually giving him that health advantage again.
And take a look at this. Callista's actually going to be up in CS if he doesn't miss it. Okay, he missed it, so it's going to be exactly even. But after all of that zoning, the only thing that Sphincter Muffin got out of this that's noticeable is 1 extra relic. 1 extra shrine. Health shrine.
Is he gonna...
Oh, 2. 2 now.
Oh, this is not looking good for Callista.
Oh, here we go. Here comes the headshot. Oh, wow. Miscalculated by Sphincter Muffin. Conduct taken super low there. Takes one of his shrines for health, but this is still super low. Oh, it takes the pilt over to the face. This is 2 autos away, I think.
This is no good. This is hard for Conduct.
He's just being zoned out here completely. He can't even hit minions for health back. Although once they crash onto his turret, he should be able to.
Yeah, he's going to have to position very well. He's going to have to hug the sides of his tower and just let the minions push him without taking cues as he just did.
Luck of the caster, huh? Steps on a trap, and that's first blood.
Oh man.
I mean, not only was that a bad play by Conduct, but that was also an amazing play by Sphincter Muffin. So let's just take a look at this all again. Sorry, Ben, but here we go. There is the ultimate. And he survives on about 30 HP. So if we speed this up just a little bit more, we see Sphincter Muffin pushing it in. And there is the Piltover Peacemaker, taking him very low. Normal speed again, come on. Dashes into the trap. Autos for the headshot. Piltover Peacemaker, 204 damage. that was the kill that he needed on the Conduct, and Conduct goes down. So very well played by Sphincter Muffin. Very surprised that Caitlyn made it through the picks and bans.
Yeah, I am as well. And the big thing as well I actually want to talk about that match was Caitlyn's control of the health relics. It seemed like she was paying attention to timers as well. She wasn't just, going, oh, I have to control the health relics with traps. She was also, as soon as the time was up, she was in the region. So if Callista went for it, she would come in for trade. She was standing in a position where she couldn't come in for the health relics. So that was all really well played by Caitlyn.
It was the little things that added up. But one of the big things that we also have to talk about is the ludicrous amount of damage that they took at the start of the game before minions spawned.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was the start of the end. That was really the start of the end.
It's kind of a bad idea to run into a bush like that when you're versing someone like Caitlyn, especially when you're building something like a Vampire Acceptor early. The Vampire Acceptor is something you want to use to sustain a game. You don't want to go into an early exchange with something that sustains. You want to go into slow fights with exchange, which kind of goes against how she had to play the matchup, but it let her sustain the game to try and get those trades.
No, you're absolutely right. And with that, I think we have to wrap this up. But, this was the CLoLS 1v1 tournament of 2015. Please give a warm round, even if you're at home. No, seriously, do it. For Sphincter Muffin, who won and came first place in our tournament. Number 2 was Conduct, and number 3 was Gimp Please. But thank you, first and foremost, to every single player who participated. I know it was very interesting to see all of your off-meta picks, especially the Alistars early on. I just love seeing those Alistars. I'm pretty sure that Ben did as well. Yeah, there we go. And, so that's first of all. Second of all, I want to thank everybody who organised this tournament. So first of all, that includes you, Ben. Without you and without Jenny putting this together, with the help of Reload, with the support of Reload, I just don't think that that any of this could have happened. So, second of all, I'd love to extend my thanks to both of you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you as well for casting and helping out with everything as well, and I want to thank everyone else who helped out, because we couldn't have done it without you. It would have been much more difficult. And I also want to thank everyone who's participated, because this is what I want to see, like the Canberra scene improving, players improving, just everyone having a good time and getting better at the game. That's what it's all about for me.
Yes, I think everybody's participating, everybody's getting to know everybody in this tournament at the very least, making some more friends, and the whole scene is improving, and at the end of the day, we're having a lot of fun, aren't we?
It's all so much fun.
That's amazing.
This is the game I love.
Yeah, there we go. That's what we want to hear. But anyway, have you got anything else to say, Ben? Do you think there's anything else that we need to touch on here?
I'm not sure. What else do we need to touch on? The next tournament, I want to see everyone else there, because I want to have another tournament and I want to have more people. Just keep it fun, and
It's in the air right now, but if you're checking out the CLoLS Scrim page, I think, do you actually have the official name on Facebook here, just so everybody else can take a look at it? Canberra, what is it?
Canberra League of Legends Scrims.
Yes, look up Canberra
Bit of a long name.
League of Legends Scrims on Facebook, and you should be able to see a public group there. All you need to do is request to be added, and you should be added. You can find everybody else here who is like-minded like you, either wants to find people of similar elos to join a team to get better, or to just 1v1 each other so you can learn some skills, learn how to improve in certain matchups. Everything that you need, that you want to improve in, is right here, and it's a Canberra local group, so you'll be playing with people who you can meet up with in real life.
And that's a big thing. And we're if you ever go down to Reload Bar, mention that you're involved in this, show them that, you're loving it. Anything like that's good for us as well, because they'll see, there's people coming, and they want to know about that, and we would like to know about that too.
Yeah, awesome. But anyway, I think we've been talking for a bit too long. That has been the CLoLS 1v1 tournament. I've been Jimmy Shadow Warafu. With me has been Ben Zarmiga Hall. And for all of our
Yep.
previous casters, including Rabbit Reigns and also Oven, we'd like to thank you for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you at the next tournament.
Thank you, everyone.